Good evening and welcome to the Sport Ireland National Aquatic Centre right here in Dublin. We are here for the 2018 World Para Swimming Allianz European Championships. I'm Paul Noble. I'll be taking you through the action for tonight's finals. I'm joined tonight by Liz Johnson. Welcome, Liz.
Hi, Paul. Thanks for having me, as always.
Oh, we had a heat session this morning. Qualifiers for the finals were decided. We've got some straight finals tonight. It was a good morning of action, wasn't it?
Yeah, we've set up some really close head-to-heads tonight, so here's the action coming, and I'm very excited to see the newcomers on the block that we haven't seen before on the world stage.
Yeah, a number of young swimmers made a mark this morning. We'll watch out, see what they can do in the final. I'm sure the experienced campaigners will want to continue the good run of form that they've had over the years. But we're just about to welcome the swimmers and the officials onto pool deck for tonight's action. 38 countries gathered here in Ireland for these European Championships, and big support in the crowd. There's some of the teams in the stands here. The French team, they've got a few chances of medals tonight. Our officials coming onto the pool deck. Well, great to see such a big turnout of officials supporting this event here in Dublin. These officials travel all over the place. They do the hard yards in their domestic competitions, get their reward to come to the big internationals. Here's what we're looking forward to tonight. We start off with the 200 freestyle in the S5 class for both men and women. Individual medley swims for the SM8s. The short distance there, 50 freestyle for the men, and then the 100 breaststroke events as well. We'll have medal ceremonies as well peppered in towards the session to celebrate the success of the winners here. 400 freestyles, the longest distance that the para swimmers will do in the pool. So a range of strokes, a range of distances, and we finish off tonight with the 4x100 freestyle relay for men. Always exciting. We love the relays, don't we, Liz?
Yeah, everyone loves a relay, Paul.
And there, the classifications there. You just see on that last screen there, the S11 class. That should be exciting. Swimmers with no vision at all. They wear blacked out goggles. They'll have tappers at the end of the lanes to direct them, to let them know when they're approaching the end of that lane, and that's always exciting. Anything can happen in that race.
Absolutely. The S11 races have always got that element of potential drama about to unfold, because they have to put so much trust in the people helping them at the end of the lanes, but also their own abilities to find the lane rope and use it to help direct them to the other end of the pool.
So if you're new to para swimming, classification, very brief overview of it. S1 to 10 for swimmers with a physical impairment, S1 being the most severe, S10 being the least impaired. We have S11, swimmers with no vision at all, and S12 and 13 for swimmers with partial vision. S14 of those with an intellectual impairment. First event tonight is the men's 200 freestyle S5. We saw James Scully from Ireland just walking out there. He goes in lane number 2. The two Italians in the centre lanes though. Antonio Fantine coming out now, and Francesco Bocciardo. Theo Curin was for France, also in the mix for the medals, and Antonio Bertrand, Spanish swimmer. He was the fastest from the heats this morning, but James Scully did a season's best, the Irish swimmer. It's great to see one of the host nation swimmers in the finals tonight.
It was great to start an event as well. First final, home swimmer. The crowd is a lot bigger than this morning, and so we can expect some noise.
And there is James Scully in lane number 2. Well, he will be hard pushed to be in the medals, but let's hope he can do something spectacular for this crowd. Great support for Scully. Antonio Bertrand is in lane number 3. He'll challenge for the medals, the Spanish swimmer. There is the young man from Italy, the 17-year-old Antonio Fantine, next to his teammate, the world record holder Francesco Bocciardo. Well, the Italians could go head-to-head here. A great last year or two this young man has had. Theo Curin from France, the 18-year-old, medalist at the last European Championships 2 years ago. And he getting the medals again. 17-year-old Luis Vertapolsa goes in lane number 7, and completing the lineup, Walter Ingvarsson from Iceland. This is the men's 200 freestyle S5. James Scully in that cap of Ireland. What can he do in what potentially could be his last international competition? Men's 200 freestyle S5. Francesco Bocciardo, the world record holder, goes in lane 5 next to his teammate Antonio Fantini.
Here we see a variety of starts in this S5 200 meter freestyle. The 3 fastest lanes in the middle, all choosing to start in the water and get straight up and into their strokes, as they don't get any propulsion from their legs. And as we can see, already there, Antonio Fantini leading from the front.
Yeah, great overhead shots of the swimmers here, just displaying the control they have over their bodies here, just trying to minimise the impairment that they have. And it is, as expected, the 2 Italians going out fast in 4 and 5. Antonio Fantini over in 34.18, a young man who won the world title last year in Mexico City. Had a great swim in the 400 freestyle there, coming from behind to overtake his more experienced teammate Francesco Bocciardo. Bocciardo set the world record in this race ahead of the time, the long-standing world record held by Daniel Diaz of Brazil. And in these early stages, well, Bocciardo trying to come back now on his younger teammate. Bocciardo going very well in lane number 5 at the turn.
Yeah, as we come into this turn here, we see Francesco Bocciardo picked up the pace down that second 50 metres in Mexico at the World Championships when both athletes were in the 400 metres freestyle. Fantini came from behind and surprised Bocciardo, so he knows what he's up against this time. And we can see that Bocciardo's considerably upped his stroke rate. They're a great overhead shot of these 3 swimmers with similar techniques, but we can see Bocciardo, because he's got that slightly higher stroke rate with his arms, his legs are swaying and causing more drag because he doesn't have the ability from his core muscles to keep them still.
Oh, Bocciardo going into this final turn now, he's going to have a lead of a second or so over his teammate. 2.5 is the difference. Bocciardo getting out of the wall pretty well, and he's got a lead, Liz, as he comes down this final 50.
Yeah, Bocciardo there has given himself about a body length over his compatriot, and he knew that he was going to have to attack this race. 200 metres more of a sprint than these guys we saw them do last year, and definitely Bocciardo is not leaving this down to chance.
Well, Bocciardo's got the power. He's gone ahead of Fantini, and he is going to take gold for Italy. It's going to be gold and silver for Italy. It's the same as the World Championships 400 last year, but this time it's gold to Bocciardo. He takes it in 2:23.65, and that is a sensational time, and that is inside the world record of 2:24. So our world record swim for Francesco Bocciardo of Italy. Well, what a way to start, Liz. Bocciardo takes it in a world record time, and he was just outside world record pace. I was keeping an eye as he went through there. It was that last 50 that really put him in to world record position, and Fantini this time, the youngster, has to settle for silver, but gold and silver to Italy, and it's Ponce Bertran from Spain into the bronze medal position. A very good time for the Spanish swimmer.
Yeah, and we saw at the start there, Fantini led down that first 50 metres and Bocciardo shadowed him. But then once they made that turn, for the rest of the race, Bocciardo had his race plan. He stuck to his race plan, and there was no doubt in his mind that he was going to win that race.
Great underwater shots here. We're getting in Dublin. And there's Antonio Fantini going over, but at that point, Bocciardo was away and clear. Bocciardo stroked his way to the finish, and oh, what a finish it was in that last 100, certainly for Bocciardo. Really picked up the pace, and inside the world record mark, 2:23.65, so 0.6 of a second inside his own world record, which he only set a couple of months ago in Palermo in Italy. But it's gold to Italy. They take the spoils in this 200 freestyle S5. Francesco Bocciardo from Italy is the European champion in a world record time. It's gold and silver to Italy, with Antonio Fantini in silver position and Anthony Ponce Bertran from Spain with the bronze. Oh, great start here. The swimmers exit the water. The next final will be making their way out. Women's 200 freestyle S5 final. Oh, similar to the men's race, the S5 swimmers coming out now. Qualifiers from this morning, led by Sofia Turk from Turkey. Zonta goes in too. Again, Italy have got a big presence in this one. Monica Borgioni, fastest into this final. Ariola Trimi is also there in lane number 3, and Inbal Pizarro, the experienced Israeli swimmer, is there in lane number 5. So Italy are going to be the fastest qualifier into this final, but I think, Liz, that some of the swimmers might have just been holding back a little for the heats this morning.
Yeah, there's a great mix of youth and experience in this final, and so they knew what they had to do in the heats, and it'll be interesting to see how that develops into the final.
Well, certainly some very youthful swimmers in this one. Oza Turk and Boyachi from Turkey, just 14 and 15 years of age respectively. Monica Borgioni just 20, and the experienced head of Inbal Pizarro first swam in the European Championships back in 2001. She's still going strong. 17 years later, Gina Borcher, she'll be hoping to get on the podium for Germany, I'm sure. There's the 15-year-old Turkish swimmer Boyachi, with Dominika Mikva in the outside lane for the Czech Republic. On our way into this final. So Inbal Pizarro in lane number 5. Monica Borgioni, fastest qualifier into this 200 freestyle S5 final, next to her teammate Ariola Trimi.
Here in this women's S5 200-meter freestyle, we see a variety of different starts again. Monica Borgioni using that advantage of diving off the block to get up and into her stroke. So she'll start, we'll see her start quite quickly, and then Inbal Pizarro in the lane 5 will try to catch her up, because as Inbal Pizarro doesn't have any use in her legs, so as she goes, she didn't get any push off the wall, so she'll go every turn, she'll use her arms to spin around the wall, and she'll build through each 50 metres.
Yeah, we saw a good example of that technique this morning for Inbal Pizarro. We saw Ariola Trimi as well. It's the Italian Monica Borgioni. First to that first turn here. 4 lengths of the pool, of course, in this 200 freestyle. Monica Borgioni through Inbal Pizarro, just trying to keep pace with Borgioni. Borgioni, winner of the World Series last year in 2017. She'll be hoping to add her first European title to that. But Inbal Pizarro beginning to come back there as they go down to the halfway point.
Absolutely, and Inbal Pizarro, a very experienced campaigner. She has a number of silver medals in this event, and she would love nothing more than to get the title of European champion here tonight.
Pizarro's been on the medal podium in this event for the last 4 European Championships. Just see Borgioni just coming off that turn a little bit better there than Inbal Pizarro, but once they're into the swim, Inbal Pizarro trying to make up ground here. It looks like in third place it is Ariola Trimi, clear in third over the rest of the field, but can Monica Borgioni hold on now to the lead as Pizarro's coming up every time they get into the swim? Pizarro is pulling back.
Absolutely, and as expected, Borgioni is getting the better push off the wall because she's getting contact with the wall with her feet, and then she accelerates. But as we can see here now, Pizarro catching Borgioni down each length a bit earlier every time. And as we go into this final turn, they'll be together. We'd expect Borgioni now to push off the wall and go slightly ahead again, and it's just a question of if she can get far enough ahead to prevent Pizarro from chasing her down. And at this point, I would say that Inbal Pizarro is in the slightly better position.
Well, Inbal Pizarro just coming up level now and just going past Monica Borgioni. They are absolutely stroke for stroke here. Great overhead shots here in the National Aquatic Centre here in Dublin. Inbal Pizarro is forging ahead now. I'm not sure there's anything Monica Borgioni can do. She's trying to lift her stroke rate, but here comes Inbal Pizarro. And Monica Borgioni just trying to make a comeback in the closing stages. But Pizarro looking across, breathing to her left, and it's Pizarro will get it in 2:54.91. Borgioni in second, just 0.3 of a second behind. The Israelis are jumping behind us in the stands here. And it's Inbal Pizarro will take the title. 2:54.91. She takes gold for Israel. Borgioni second and Trimmy third.
Great swimming there, really entertaining race. Cat and mouse the whole way, and it's really exciting for the spectators to see. And it's so good for Inbal Pizarro there to finally get herself on the top step of that podium.
Well, Inbal Pizarro, it says it there, European champion, a 2:54.91. She is a multi-medalist in this event, Inbal Pizarro. She's won 8 European medals in the past, very experienced campaigner, and she's back on top of the medal podium again. Well done, Inbal Pizarro. Huge sigh of relief, huge smile for Inbal Pizarro.
Yeah, and that's a great shot there of the start, showing how Borgioni gets that advantage, but Pizarro stuck to her race plan. She knew that would happen. She's an experienced campaigner, and here we see at the last 50 metres, she's already on Borgioni's shoulders with 12 metres to go, whereas in the past she'd been catching her towards the end, and that great underwater shot there just shows how strong Pizarro is.
Well, there is the gap as they came down towards the finish line. At the bottom, there's the red markers. 5 metres to go there. Borgioni trying to close. Head down for the wall for both of them, but Pizarro was the one that had the advantage. Pizarro just looking across there at the end. See where Borgioni was, but oh, it was a stretch for Pizarro. Borgioni, one more arm stroke, that was the difference. And that was enough to make Pizarro the European champion. Well, still one swimmer in the water to finish the distance. That's Dominika Mikova from the Czech Republic. Brought into this final as a reserve, so great experience for the Czech swimmer, 22-year-old. She swam in the final at the last European Championships, finished in 8th position. She's going to repeat that today. Dominika Mikova from the Czech Republic. Another European final for her. And if these results are confirmed, another 8th place for the Czech swimmer. So just wait for confirmation of the results. But it looks to us like Inbal Pizarro won. Great race there, Liz, wasn't it?
Yeah, she said really exciting, and it's so good. She was at the same European Championship that I made my debut at, and she's impressive that she's still swimming and still winning.
Inbal Pizarro takes the European title here in Dublin, ahead of Monica Borgioni and Ariola Trimmy. Oh, great longevity there for Inbal Pizarro. Why are you not still swimming, Liz?
Because I still wouldn't be winning, I can assure you.
Men's 200 metres individual medley S8 final. That's the next event we're going to have to look forward to here. So a couple of good races to start with, a couple of good head-to-heads. We thought we might have some good head-to-heads tonight. Andreas Onea from Austria, the fastest into this men's 200 metres individual medley S8 final. Mark Malya trying to continue the success of Israel here. These championships. There's Carlos Martinez Fernandez. What a good swim he had, a controlled swim in the heats today. Young Spanish swimmer, this young man, 16-year-old Diogo Cancela. There's the favourite, Andres Onea, medalist in all the major championships. But what about this man, Dimos Michelinsakis, Paralympic champion in 100 butterfly, and he had an IM title. Simon Boer, good, strong breaststroker. Watch for him in the second half of this IM. Sergio Salvador Marcos Mingue from Spain, and this young man, Evgeny Bodaiko from Ukraine. 27 European Championship medalists to his name, one of the most prolific medalists in the history of this event. Evgeny Bodaiko swimming up classification. We've got two SM7s in this. They're in the outside lanes, Mark Malyar and Evgeny Bodaiko swimming up against the SM8, so they have more of an impairment than the 6 swimmers in the centre of the pool.
Strong starts there from the athletes at the top end of the pool. Evgeny Bodaiko getting a really good start. As you said, he is a classification lower than the other swimmers, but he is a great all-round swimmer, as 27 medals suggest. But it will be Mitchell Zanakis of the Greek 100-fly Paralympic champion that we would expect to go hard down this first 50 metres and give himself an advantage.
He's gone out pretty well, 30.37 for Mitchell Zanakis, as you would expect it. Good start from Bodaiko. You said, Lizzie, he's a strong all-rounder, he's a good backstroker. And Mitchell Zanakis, we saw that technique that he employed this morning on that backstroke. A big strong arm on his left side, but also bringing over his smaller right arm on the right-hand side.
And that will be to keep him balanced, keep him pace, so that he can maximise the pull that he's getting from his stronger left arm. And here we can see in the top end of the pool, in lane 8, Bodaiko still going very, very well there for Ukraine.
And right there, Mitchell Zanakis in lane number 5. Andreas Onea now moving through into second, with Bodaiko down into third position. And Andy Onea from Austria be trying to pull up now, the Paralympic medalist in breaststroke. Andy Onea is on the shoulder now of Mitchell Zanakis. Big chance for the Austrian team to try and claim a gold medal here, and Onea is coming back. Is he going to be on terms with Mitchell Zanakis? The Austrian would dearly love to have a lead going into the freestyle.
Yeah, and as the breaststroker in this race, he will want to be up at the turn. Like you say, Paul, he will want to be with the Greek at the turn, and he's going to manage it. Now it's all down to who's got enough left down this final 50-metre freestyle. There's only 0.28 of a second separates the first two places.
Well, the young Spanish swimmer in third position, Mitchell Zanakis, came off that wall really well here. It's Dimos Mitchell Zanakis from Greece, and he is now stretching away from Andreas Onea from Austria, and he looks like he's heading for home. It looks like it's going to be a gold medal for Greece. Dimos Mitchell Zanakis really, really strong here, and he is coming into the last 5 now. He's going to claim the gold medal for Greece. It's gold for Mitchell Zanakis. 2:25.42, silver to Austria, Andy Onea from Austria, and it is going to be lane 2. It's going to be bronze to Spain. The Spanish loving that in the stands. It's Carlos Martinez Fernandez, but what a good swim. Dimos Mitchell Zanakis takes the title.
He worked hard for that, and he was pushed all the way by Andrea Onea, and that's the brilliant thing about 200 injury medley. It's so entertaining because you've really got to play to your strengths while minimising the impact of your weaknesses.
Well, Dimos Mitchell Zanakis was very, very strong, as we thought he would be on the butterfly. Very similar disabilities for all the 3 medalists, just with the use of one arm there. Mitchell Zanakis with that lead on the butterfly. Really the breaststroke where Andreas Onea had to pull back, had to get that little bit of an advantage, but it just wasn't quite enough. And Mitchell Zanakis was able to come through on the freestyle. What a good swim from the young Spanish swimmer as well. Martinez Fernandez going there in lane number 2, coming through, winning a close contest for that bronze medal. Just missing out there was 16-year-old Diogo Cancela from Portugal. Very, very close contest in between the Spanish swimmer and the Portuguese swimmer.
Yeah, and as we said, there was clear water then as Mitchell Zanakis came into that final 5 metres. There was no doubt by that point that he was going to win that race in his mind. However, he was pushed all of the way, and it was a very exciting way to start the SM8 swimming.
Dimos Michelin-Sakis is the European champion for Greece, 2:25.42, 4.5 seconds ahead of Austria's Andreas Onea, and Martinez Fernandez of Spain, the bronze. Now the final now of the women's 200 metres individual medley, SM8 class. There's Monika Belczyska from Poland. Goes outside lane in lane number 1. Czech swimmer Kuskova in lane number 2. There's Cresupio, 50-year-old former Olympic swimmer from France. She goes in lane 3. Xenia Francesca Palazzo, fastest from the heats. There's Great Britain's Megan Richter. What can she do? Second fastest qualifier, Megan Richter, into this final. Emily Winter, the experienced Danish swimmer. Good record in the European Championships. Dari Oreso from Spain goes in lane number 7. And there is the home swimmer, Alva Kelly. Big cheer from the crowd there. Alva Kelly managed to squeeze into this final. What can she do? Xenia Francesca Palazzo, the fastest from the heats this morning. Great Britain's Megan Richter in second position from those heats. It's Claire Supio closest to us here. Alva Kelly in the outside lane, furthest away lane, the Irish swimmer. Right up at the top there is Alva Kelly, the only swimmer who's starting from the water.
Best reaction time there coming from lane 1, Belczyska. But once we were up into the straight, a great underwater shot there of Megan Richter, who PB'd this morning by 0.08 seconds to get that lane 5 in his final. She's got a strong first half of the 200 metre medley, so she'll be looking to stay as much as she can with Palazzo and challenge down this fly and on her stronger backstroke leg of this 200 metres individual medley.
Yeah, Megan Richter swam very good backstroke this morning. And Claire Supio, well, she was an Olympic swimmer back in 1988. Swam in the Seoul Olympics in the 200 butterfly. She should be very good at the butterfly leg here. She's just behind Xenia Francesca Palazzo from Italy. But Megan Richter, as we expected, is going to come back into contention here. Palazzo is very strong in the second half of the individual medley, so Megan Richter really needs to try and forge ahead here, try and get an advantage over the Italian. Certainly a lot smoother on the backstroke than the Italian swimmer. Yeah,
great swimming there from Megan Richter. She's flat, she's keeping balanced. You wouldn't actually notice at that time. She really minimises the impact of her weaker side on that backstroke. And here she goes, great flip turn into the breaststroke. Now she's going to have to work hard down this breaststroke leg because Palazzo has a great leg, and this is where she makes up the deficit.
Palazzo a lot higher in the water than Megan Richter, and she is forging ahead now, the Italian. She looks in good shape here as they go past the halfway point on this breaststroke leg. Claire Supio still in third position. Clear in third for the French swimmer. And it looks like the three medalists out in front, it's going to be difficult for anyone else to catch them. Emily Winter possibly, or Zudair Boreso challenging for fourth position, but coming up to the turn now, the final turn is Xenia Francesca Palazzo for Italy.
A great breaststroke leg there from Palazzo. She really made inroads with her lead, and Megan Richter had held on, but actually Claire Supio had a brilliant breaststroke leg and really caught Megan Richter. So now it'll come down to, I don't think there's any doubt about the winner. Palazzo is out in front with a strong lead, and it'll be now if Supio has still got that endurance from the 200 fly of all those years ago in 1988, or Megan Richter can hold on to second place.
Well, here comes Palazzo now into the closing stages. into the red markers. It's going to be gold again for Italy. It's gold for Palazzo. She is the European champion. Great battle for silver, and it is Megan Richter, I think, will just get it ahead of Claire Supio for France.
There we see the winner, Palazzo of Italy. Another great swim from another great Italian. They're really starting to get a great strength and depth. And Megan Richter, big smile there with that silver medal. Another best time for her. So a great international debut. This was really, oh sorry Paul, this is really where the difference was made, and we often say it as, we might be a bit biased as breaststrokers, but breaststroke really can be the telling leg of the medley, and there it definitely was for Palazzo. Once she turned onto that freestyle with that advantage, there was no doubt that she was going to take that race.
Yeah, really just stroked away from the rest of the field on the second half of that breaststroke and the freestyle. Gina Francesca Palazzo takes the European title ahead of Great Britain's Megan Richter and France's Claire Supio. All the men coming out now for the next event, which is the 100 breaststroke SB9. This is an event right at the minimal end of impairment. It's Frank Martinez for Spain going in lane number 1. Next to him, it's Rafael Kalinowski from Poland. And one of the favourites for the medals will be Dmytro Vanzenko of Ukraine, next to his Ukrainian teammate Denis Dubrov. Silver medalist in the major championships, Dubrov. Not hit the major, the top spot in this breaststroke. Good swim from the 20-year-old Raimondi. Tamas Toth from Hungary in 6. Kadia Strasik from the Czech Republic in 7. And Adam Karas from Germany in the outside lane in lane number 9. The 17-year-old German making this European final. Two Ukrainians, Denis Dubrov and Dmitry Vanzenko. They will be tough to beat. Stefano Raimondi from Italy will be in the mix too. Well, it should be a fast race, this one. Denis Dubrov trying to claim the European title in the 100 breaststroke in the centre lane. Looks like a good start though from Raimondi as well. Quickly off the blocks there.
And Raimondi this morning, international debut, personal best time in the heats. Italian's going really well already in this final session. He will be riding the wave of that success, and he will be the young challenger to Denis Dubrov, who's really trying to cement his first gold medal in this event. Lots of silver medals, and as we come into this turn, it will be Raimondi who gets the touch on the first 50 in a time of 30.59, less than half a second ahead of Denis Dubrov though, who we know is a very strong 100-metre swimmer.
Raimondi with a lead here. Denis Dubrov maybe a little bit surprised by the power of the Italian here, and it does look like the Italian Raimondi is going away from Denis Dubrov by those shots, but Denis Dubrov, a very experienced campaigner, and he is coming back on the Italian. Raimondi trying to hold on. Denis Dubrov doesn't look like he can catch him, and it looks like Raimondi on his international debut is going to take gold for Italy. It's gold to Raimondi in 106.06. Boy, what a time for the Italian. Denis Dubrov, silver again for the Ukrainian, and it is bronze for Ukraine as well. Vanzenko taking the bronze, but what about that swim? Stefano Raimondi from Italy.
Yeah, what a swim. He came in this morning with a 1:12 time to his name. He's just gone 106.06. That just shows how when you get that excitement and that adrenaline in major finals, anything is possible. And he did. He had the better start. He was up and he led from start to finish. And the problem with breaststroke, sometimes from Dennis Duval's point of view, is if the person next to you gets too far ahead and you can see them, if you can see them, you know they're a long way ahead of you. And then you sometimes try to catch them, spin your stroke and slip the water.
Well, Dennis Dubrov was playing catch-up for most of that 100 breaststroke. Stefano Raimondi, what a swim he had. As you said, Liz, he improved his entry time in the heats this morning by just a touch, but he's absolutely smashed it there in the final. 106.06 for Raimondi. The Italians very close to us here in the stands, and they were going absolutely crazy. Stefano Raimondi takes gold for Italy. 106.06. It's silver and bronze to Ukraine. Well, shocks already, Liz. Wonder if there'll be any more. Women's 100 breaststroke SB9. Next into the pool. There's the young Hungarian swimmer. There's Rekatar. Next to her from Belarus, Alexandra Sadkovskaya. And there is the world record holder, Chantal Zuiderveld from the Netherlands. 17 years of age. Next to her, her teammate from the Netherlands, a Paralympic champion, Lisa Kruger. Renata Pinto from Portugal. Well, she'll feel she has a chance of challenging for the medals. And Alexandra Ochitera from Poland, completing the lineup in lane number 7. The two Netherlands swimmers, can you look past them, Liz? Netherlands in 4 and 5 in the women's 100 breaststroke SB9. So the two Netherlands swimmers shared major titles in recent years. Lisa Kruger taking the Paralympic title, Chantal Zuiderveld the last 2 European titles in 2014 and 2016. She set the world record back in October last year. She would dearly love to make it 3 European titles in a row.
Yeah, and Zuiderveld there in lane 4, definitely getting the quicker reaction time, getting up and into the stroke, really attacking down this first 50 metres. We know she's a great 50 breaststroke swimmer. She broke the record in that also earlier in the year, and she knows that this could go any way. They've really got to go for it, and they swim the race very differently. Zuiderveld up there now, and Lisa Kruger will try to track her down. This is another example of a great domestic rivalry that makes its way onto the international stage and is constantly pushing them. And Zuiderveld really is attacking this as we come into the last 25 metres.
Well, Chantal Zuiderveld looks like she's going to be on her way to another European title. The time is very good. It was at the halfway point, just inside world record split here. But here comes Chantal Zuiderveld. It's going to be another title to the Netherlands. It's going to be another title to Chantal Zuiderveld. Nothing that Lisa Kruger can do. And Zuiderveld takes it in 1:12.42. An excellent time, a world record time for Chantal Zuiderveld of the Netherlands inside her own mark. And that was an excellent swim for her. Lisa Kruger in silver. And the bronze to Sadkovskaya of Belarus. But it's tears for Chantal Zuiderveld. What a swim!
Absolutely, look at them. And that's the great thing about a national rivalry, sorry, in the domestic game. You push each other all the time. You can never afford to go to any competition and swim badly. And to break the world record, to do a personal best time when you're already that good by over a second, 1.3 seconds, you can see how much it means to her.
Well, what a world record swim. 1:12.42 for Chantal Zuiderveld. Massive amount knocked off the world record here. And right from the off, it looked like she meant business.
She had a great reaction to the start gun, and that really set her up then. Because once you're with breaststroke, once you're into your rhythm and into your momentum, if you've done the training, then you can just keep going. And then we saw there wasn't even close at the end.
Oh, looking round to the scoreboard at the top end. It smiles all round for the Netherlands. Lisa Kruger And Chantal Zideveld, tears of joy there for the two 17-year-olds. What a swim from these two. Chantal Zideveld pushing that world record further and further away. Chantal Zideveld smashes the world record to take the European title in the women's SB900 breaststroke. Lisa Kruger, the silver. Alexandra Sadkovskaya, the bronze. Well, what a swim that was, Les. Absolutely smashing that record.
Yeah, and I think we saw there just what happens. Like when she went to the Paralympic Games, she came away with a bronze medal. She didn't swim badly, she just got beaten. But then that served really well as the impetus she needed and the motivation to come back, train harder, and then take on the world, literally.
Lisa Kruger was the Paralympic champion. It's a great swim that she had out there in Rio. Chantal Zideveld really setting the standards high, pushing those boundaries now. Really burst onto the scene as a 13-year-old 4 years ago in her home European Championships in Eindhoven in 2014. She's continuing. She's now the world's very best there in that classification. First of the medal presentations for tonight. And that is for the men's 200 freestyle S5. And the two Italian team having a great night so far. Very early days, but we've talked about them this morning in the heats and how they've really built up the strength and depth in their squad.
Yeah, for sure, and we see how that momentum just carries its way through the team. And who better to get your medal from than Andrew Parsons?
Parsons, president of the IPC. First medal presented at these championships. Antoni Ponce Bertran from Spain. 2:34. 1:18 in the final. There's a young man, he was on top of the podium in the 400 freestyle last year at the World Championships. Had a great kind of breakthrough event last year in Mexico City, didn't he?
Yeah, Lynn Bocciardo, he's got a great mentor, rival, role model. And we can see there now the tables have been turned, and this time he finds himself with a superb silver medal.
And here is the gold medalist, Francesco Bocciardo from Italy. He set the world record just a couple of months ago. He was the favourite for this one, but must have really wondered what his young teammate could do, Antonio Fantin. But this time it was the turn of Francesco Bocciardo. A new world record time for the Italian. He takes gold for Italy. It's not going to be the first time we'll hear this anthem this week, is it, Liz?
Well, it will be the first, but I don't know if it'll be the last.
Oh, yeah. That's true. Well, the Italians in 1 and 2, Spain in 3. Yeah, good swim from those guys there. Another world record to start us off with.
Yeah, and we've seen over the years Daniel Diaz of Brazil dominate that 200 freestyle for the S5 classification, but now I think we'll see it progress even more so heading towards Tokyo now that he's got some challenges.
Yeah, the great Daniel Diaz. I wonder if he can respond there, challenge these two Italians. And next presentation we have is for the women's 200 freestyle. Another Italian on the podium, Monica Boccioni. Israeli swimmer in the middle, second Italian, Arioli Trimi. That bronze medal position. Swim from Arioli Trimi, swimming upper class as well. It was S4 and S5 combined. The S4 swimmer on the podium.
Arioli Trimi is a great technician, so we saw that come to the forefront. She managed to stick with those S5 swimmers down the first 50 metres, and that set her up then well to take this bronze medal.
There she is. She'll have some S4 only events as we go through the programme this week. Just the first day of competition. 7 days here in Dublin. It's clear in third place. And silver medal to our teammate Monica Boccioni, 20-year-old. First European medal for Monica Boccioni.
Yes, she's had a great start to her life on the international scene. World Championships went well for her, and now she's started this meet. First race, first medal.
What a good tussle it was with Pizarro. Pizarro just coming through in the closing stages. Boccioni better on the starts, better on the turns, but when they were in the swim, Pizarro was the master of that tool.
Yeah, and it'll mean so much to her to take this gold medal. She's been around, she's a very experienced athlete, debuting back at the European Championship in 2001, and now she gets to sit on top of the podium and hear her anthem.
Well, the Israeli national anthem played there for Inbal Pizarro. Big smile on the face of the gold medalist. And these three will be back in the pool later this week. Challenge for more medals here in Dublin.
Yeah, the great thing about being freestyle swimmers is they get more events, they get the shorter distances, get the big one out of the way. And once you've got those medals under your belt in your first race, you relax into the meet and you can really then push on and excel.
Yeah, medal in the bag early. That's what you need, doesn't it?
Yeah, unless you only swim one event and the race is until day 6, which is normally what happened to me. And then you just got to sit down and wait your turn.
That's true. And that can be a challenge in itself, can't it?
Yep, but you get used to it, and I think with experience, you get preparation for those types of things. But all of these medalists tonight, well, won't have that worry.
Who's going to be on the medal podium after this one? It's the men's S6 50 freestyle. One length of the pool. The swimmers have moved up to the opposite end of the pool, up to the scoreboard end. Just their right hand side here. We saw the qualification heats this morning. And swims in the centre there. Ties van Hoefwegen from the Netherlands in that orange tracksuit there. He was the fastest qualifier, that one. There's David Sanchez Sierra, the S6 swimmer from Spain, number 1. Senel, the Turkish swimmer, the Turkish team. A lot of youngsters here making these finals tonight. Senel next to the reigning champion Alexander Komarov, and there's Ties van Hoefwegen, fastest qualifier. Next to him was Georgios Sefaltos, who won his heat this morning, ahead of Komarov. So he is in lane 5, Nosinovic from Croatia in 6, Alejandro Roas Cabrera in 7, Leonardo Renic from Croatia completes the lineup in lane number 8. One length of the pool, Liz. Well, it's going to be a really close one, this one. We had some good qualifiers this morning, good times at qualification. Ties van Hoefwegen from the Netherlands, fastest into this final men's 50 freestyle S6.
Van Hoefwegen there in lane 4 of the Netherlands, getting up and into the best start as he started off the block on his feet. We saw 2 sit starts from lane 3, Komarov, and lane 5, Slatos, but now, there we go. Van Hoefwegen still benefiting from that advantage of the block. There's very tight behind him for the minor medals.
Yeah, Komarov, the reigning champion, trying to come back in the closing stages here. But Van Hoefwegen surely has got enough there. Sefaltos in lane number 5, but it's going to be Van Hoefwegen will take it for the Netherlands. Sefaltos' second position. It's silver for Greece, and it is bronze for their previous champion Komarov. But Ties van Hoefwegen will take gold for the Netherlands. 30.59 for Van Hoefwegen, 0.3 outside the European record.
Great swimming there, and it means the punch in the air. He's got a great army of supporters in orange in the crowd. He's just delighted with that victory. Following on from his teammates' victory, Chantal Virtue-Develd. Great start from him. He really led that from start to finish.
Yeah, it was an excellent start there, Van Hoefwegen. That's what you need in this 50 freestyle. And he held that right towards the end there. Komarov and Sefaltos were closing very slightly, but there was no way they could catch the man from the Netherlands. An excellent time there as well. 30.59 for Van Hoefwegen. Van Hoefwegen takes the gold for the Netherlands. Sefaltos from Greece, silver, and Komarov from Ukraine, the bronze. The women's 50 freestyle S6 about to make their way onto the pool deck. This should be one of the cracking races of the evening. Some excellent performers in this one. 2 Ukrainians in the centre lanes. They're flanked by 2 British swimmers just outside them. And home country representation as well for Nicole Turner from Ireland. Swimmers making their way out for this S6 final, led by the Italian Chiara Cordini, There's Nicole Turner in the green tracksuit of Ireland, Ellie Robinson from Great Britain, the two Ukrainians, Rob and Satsova and Mareshko, going in 4 and 5. Yara Cordini in the outside lane. There's qualification time from this morning, 38.81. Cordini hoping to get in amongst the leading contenders, as will Nicole Turner. Great support from the home crowd here for Nicole Turner. Ellie Robinson, what a season she's had so far, winning butterfly medals in the Gold Coast Commonwealth Games. There is the world record holder, Satsova from Ukraine, and there is the Paralympic champion, Elizaveta Mareshko, playing 5. This young lady, Maisie Summers-Newton, what a last year or so she's had. She's next to the experienced German, Verena Schott. And the third Great Britain swimmer in the outside lane, it's Tully Kearney. So 3 Great Britain swimmers in this final. Satsova and Mareshko, the two Ukrainians in the fast lanes in 4 and 5.
There we'll see some very contrasting styles from the two Ukrainians in the middle. Satsova, the world record holder, Mareshko, the Paralympic champion. Both very high stroke rates, but going strongly is Eleanor Robinson as expected. Great start, lane 3, but now we see Satsova edging ahead. Mareshko with that high stroke rate chasing her down.
Well, Satsova with a very high head position there in lane number 4. Mareshko coming back very strongly. It's between the two Ukrainians. It's going to be Mareshko, I think. Yes, just by 1/100th of a second. Mareshko will take it in 32.78. It's a new world record for Elizaveta Mareshko. And 1/100th ahead of Victoria Satsova, her teammate, also inside the old world record. And in third position it was Eleanor Robinson from Great Britain. She will take the bronze.
That race promised to be exciting, and it didn't disappoint. Satsova there led from the start right until the bitter end, when Mareshko just came through to get that touch.
Well, hopefully we'll get a close-up of that finish. Mareshko was pulling back all the time. Satsova, well, I thought she just about had it under control. They're coming into the final stages, but look at the determination of Mareshko on the right of those two swimmers. Oh, it was good finishes from both of them as well, but Mareshko just getting the touch there, and there was absolutely nothing in that 1/100th of a second between the two swimmers.
There we saw Mareshko charging for the wall from about 7 metres out. Satsova just took a breath in the final 3 metres, and that will be what has cost her. But great swimming, great times from both athletes.
Well, both inside the old world record time held by Satsova. Elizaveta Mareshko takes the title in the women's 50 freestyle in a world record time, 1/100th of a second ahead of her teammate. And Great Britain's Ellie Robinson will take the bronze just ahead of her teammate Maisie Summers-Newton. Well, what a great swim. It did, as you say, Liz, promised to be an excellent contest between the two, but goodness, we couldn't have predicted it was going to be that close.
No, but it's really exciting, and Mareshko, she's got the full range. She also swims 400-metre freestyle, so to see her be able to turn it on and spin her arms that quickly but without slipping water just shows the quality athlete that she is.
And the next medal ceremony on their way out, led by Andrea Soner from Austria. What a good swim it is from this man in the middle, the Greek swimmer, Emos Michelintzakis. Medal presenters just being introduced here in the arena. What a good swim from the young man from Spain. We watched him in the heats this morning. We were impressed by his technique. Spanish swimmer, Carlos Martinez Fernandez.
Yeah, he employed a strong breaststroke leg kick on his backstroke because, again, you've got to play to your strengths. We say it so often in parasport, but you can't do textbook technique. You have to play around and work out what works best for you, and he's definitely done that there by getting this bronze medal.
And the Austrian swimmer, André, well, he did hit the front after the breaststroke leg. He thought he might, but he would have hoped to have been a little bit further ahead of Emos Michelintzakis from Greece. As it was, the slender lead that he had wasn't quite enough to hold on to the gold medal position, but he looks delighted there with his silver medal position, continuing his good run of medals in the major championships. What a swim from the man in the centre. He's the 100 butterfly champion from the Paralympic Games in Rio. He's the world champion as well in that 100 butterfly. Now into the 200 individual medley events. He was very strong in the butterfly. Andreas O'Neill just caught him up in the middle stages of that one, but that freestyle was like lightning in that last 50.
He started well and he finished well. Bookended the 200 individual medley.
Well, the medal's been shared about a bit in the early stages.
Always, it's like a competition of who's got the best national anthem.
Well, we don't hear the Greek one too often, but we have done for Emos Michelintzakis in recent years. He has been a real star and a real emerging star for the Greek team. Andreas O'Neill holding again for Austria. And the young man from Spain, 19-year-old Carlos Martinez Fernandez, in that bronze medal position. Now the victory ceremony for the women's 200 metres individual medley, SM8 class. Going to have 2 or 3 races and then 2 or 3 medal ceremonies all the way through programme tonight. There's Megan Richter on her international debut for the GB team, leading them out on the medal podium. She was due to go to the World Championships last year, of course, but the Great Britain team didn't go to the rescheduled event, which was rescheduled because of the earthquake in Mexico City. So she's had to wait for her international debut, but she's really started well, hasn't she, Megan Richter?
She made it worth the wait. She did the best time there this morning and this afternoon. Bettered it, so can't ask for any more.
Now Claire Soupio from France, 50-year-old former Olympic swimmer, swam the 1988 Seoul Olympics 200 butterfly. She started well on the fly on this IM. Again, another one, she started well. She had a very good freestyle at the end, didn't she? She almost pulled up alongside Megan Richter, but couldn't quite pull up the difference to the GB swimmer. Megan Richter, what a great backstroke she had. Watch out for her in the backstroke, I would say.
Yeah, Megan Richter gave herself a brilliant chance to get this silver medal for the strong first 100 metres, so then she had enough of an advantage to hold on down that 50-metre freestyle. At the end, strong finish, and you can see she's really happy to be on that podium.
Well, Megan Richter, 17 years of age. Latina Francesca Palazzo from Italy, top of the podium. She was really, really strong all the way through. And Richter had a bit of a lead at the halfway point. Probably the backstroke not the strongest for the Italian swimmer. But certainly in the second half of that IM, there was no one to touch Palazzo. Well, the Italians enjoying that, as they always do. We enjoy that one as well, don't we?
We do look forward to an Italian national anthem. It just gets everybody up and bouncing around. And they've got a good support crowd here. They stood up then, and there was many, many Italian flags. And our colleagues to the side of us, also from Italy, they were up dancing too. So
there's the medalist, Italian in the centre, youngster Megan Richter, first international medal for her. Back to the racing very soon. 400 freestyle for men S12. It's one of the races for the visually impaired classes. S12 and S13. Swimmers with partial vision, they won't wear blacked out goggles. The S12 swimmers are allowed to have tappers at the end. Some of them choose not to. 400 freestyle though, Liz.
It's a tactical race, and it's wide open. Because of the form of the person who normally wins this race, not in it. So he's won for the last, dominated the major championships for a number of years, no longer in it. So it's a chance for somebody to step up. Shuvarov is the world record holder, and he's often the fastest in the world, but he doesn't tend to finish the year in the fastest world rankings. So out they come now. Very exciting.
Well, swimmers making their way out. Some youngsters here taking the start. First time we've seen some of these swimmers at the major championships. Iceland swimmer, 18-year-old Mar Gunnarsson. Final one. Here from the holding area behind that big branding sign at the top of the pool. Mustafa Aslan, the 18-year-old from Turkey. Karimar Kalmak, he get in the medals for Estonia. Didn't have a heat for this one, so it's a straight final. Haven't seen the form that these swimmers are in. Roger Dorsman in 3 for the Netherlands. Yaroslav Denisenko in lane 4 for Ukraine. Milo Chufarov, world record holder, in lane 5. Fabrizio Sotil, the Italian, goes in lane 6. And there's Mar Gunnarsson, 18-year-old from Iceland, goes in lane 7. Just looking to see if any of the swimmers have tappers. Yeah, a couple of the swimmers, Netherlands swimmer and the Iceland swimmer, have tappers there. Help them This is the men's 400 freestyle S12. Now we see in the centre, probably the favourite there, the fastest qualification time, Yaroslav Denisenko from Ukraine. Previously swum in the S13 class, and he's got a raft of silver medals, Denisenko, to the great Ihar Boki from Belarus. So it's his chance tonight to be on the top of the podium, and he's gone out fast, 26.85. Dorsman in second spot in the early stages, and Chufarov, the world record holder, in third place. And he's being pressed at the moment by Fabrizio Sottile, the Italian swimmer, but good start here for Denisenko, and he looks commanding in these early stages, Liz.
As we go into this first 100 metres, Denisenko is definitely putting down his marker. The 400 metres freestyle is difficult for the swimmers in this classification group because it's tactical, but actually many of them can't see their competitors, so they have to learn to swim at their own pace. Because this is the classification group in the visually impaired categories with the biggest range of vision. So you'll have some athletes that'll be able to maybe see the person in the lane next to them, or a shadow, even a lane over, but they'll have some that can only tell light from dark as they hit into the walls. But here we see Denisenko completing that with that commanding lead, but a nice race going on there for second and third.
So the tappers going through there, Roger Dorsman being just tapped on the shoulder or the back there to give him the indication of where the turn was. Denisenko looking really, really good. Fantastic freestyle stroke there for Yaroslav Denisenko. And he's coming up to the halfway point. We'll just check the splits here. He's inside world record split by a couple of seconds. He's under the 2-minute mark. And that is really, really good there. 2:01.62, the previous world record mark. And it was 1:59 for Denisenko at that halfway point. So Denisenko in with a great shout of bettering that world record held by Chufarov, which has stood since the World Championship back in 2013.
Yeah, Chufarov is in lane 5, but he's not going to challenge this evening to defend that world record. This race really now is Denisenko's to lose.
Well, keep an eye on the clock for Denisenko as we go through the split that the world record came from 5 years ago was at 3:04.46. So watch for the time for Denisenko. The world record definitely was on at halfway point. Is it going to be on at the 3/4 point? Yaroslav Denisenko now coming up to the turn. 3:04.46 the split that he has to better here, and well, he's slipping a little bit closer to that time, but still inside world record pace.
Yeah, and as we would expect now, he'll go to his legs down this final 100 metres. He's got a healthy lead, so he might leave it to kick big down that final 50 metres, but he's been commanding from start to finish. A nice stroke, balance, breathing every arm stroke, getting a deep pull with that left arm of his. And he is exciting for the S12 category.
He's gone over that final turn, spotted that pretty well. In second place, I think it is Chufarov, the world record holder. I wonder how long he is going to hold that world record. And in third place, it is the Netherlands swimmer Roger Dorsman in lane number 3, just with the advantage over Fabrizio Sottile from Italy. And here comes Denisenko now. We'll keep an eye on the clock. The world record stands at 4:05.95. I wonder if he's going to be inside it. It's going to be mightily close for him, but just slipping by. But it's a gold medal nevertheless for Yaroslav Denisenko. 4:08.00 on world record pace all the way through there. In second place in lane 5 will be Chufarov, still holding that world record, and Chufarov will finish in 4:22.75, some way behind Denisenko. And for the bronze medal, it looks like it's the Netherlands swimmer Roger Dorsman making his debut here at the major championships. The 19-year-old for the Netherlands will be delighted to see when he gets out of the pool, when the swimmers are all finished here, that he will take a medal at the major championships.
Yeah, Denisenko there, he attacked that race from the beginning. but paid for it slightly at the end there. But you've got to take those chances. You've got to challenge to give yourself the best chance, and he did. He looked powerful. Great start, settled into his stroke really quickly, opened up a commanding lead, and was rewarded with a great time.
Well, he's played second fiddle to the great E.R. Boki from Belarus. They're in different classifications now, and Denisenko is the man to beat, certainly in this event, the 400 freestyle. I'm sure we'll see him some other events throughout these European Championships. Denisenko has got 15 silver medals at World Championships and European Championships. But now he's got a goal to his name, so Yaroslav Denisenko will be the man who takes the gold medal in this S12 400 freestyle for men. Yaroslav Denisenko confirmed as the gold medalist. Ukraine also take the silver with Danilo Chufarov, and bronze to Netherlands, Roger Dorsman. The women's 400 freestyle final, and someone's just taking the start now. Aimer Kalma. Oh, just getting the captions sorted out there for the women's race. There is Naomi Mikey Schnittger, that's better. The S12 swimmer from Germany. We saw Katarina Chura from Slovakia in 2, Maria Delgado Nadal from Spain in 3, Lucia Berra from Italy in 5, Nila Labuda from Germany in 6, and there's Fatma Nurbaki from Turkey in line number 7. And this is the S12 class. Naomi Mikey Schnittger from Germany. Favourite for this one, she goes in line 4. Chura closest to us, the 14-year-old, the youngest in this field from Slovakia. Nila Labuda from Germany, also just 15 years of age, going up there in lane number 6. But her German teammate, Naomi Mikey Schnittger, be the favourite for this one. She took the European title back in Berlin, her home country, in 2011. She would love to double up another European title for the German swimmer here.
Yeah, and Stritcher's coming into this meet off the back of a strong block of training in the sunshine of Lanzarote, Club La Santa. Her squad were there and they were putting in some really heavy training. They've been twice this year, and everybody knows that solar power is good for the swimmer, good for the soul. So she's got some strong work behind her, and she is leading out this race down this first 100 metres.
Yeah, Schnittger very strong. She took 2 golds at the World Champs last year in the 50 and the 100 freestyle. I remember her, Liz, probably she made a name as a 400 freestyler, I think, back in those European Championships, but she's kind of doing a lot more sprint events now, moved down to the 100 and the 50.
Yeah, she's had to do that because the 400 metre freestyle was removed from the Paralympic programme for this category. So it shows her strength then that she's managed to turn her attention to the sprint events, get stronger, get bigger, get more power to get that speed. But it's great to see here that her 400 metre freestyle isn't suffering, because that is her favourite event.
And on either side of her, the leader, Naomi Mikey Schnittger, is Lucia Berra and Maria Delgado Nadal. Spanish swimmer Delgado Nadal just in second spot here. Paralympic medalist in Rio in the backstroke and also in the 50 freestyle. And Lucia Berra, she was a medalist at last European Championships 2 years ago in Portugal. And another one of that great batch of Italian swimmers that just appeared in 2015 and 2016, and their team's really built up, hasn't it?
Yeah, we seem to be saying it a lot, but the Italians are always there or thereabouts. They've got a lot of youth, but a lot of experience within that youth, if that makes sense. And it's the success is spreading through the team. And when you are a part of a successful team, you don't want to be the person that doesn't perform well and doesn't get a medal. So it encourages everyone and pushes everyone to that next level, which is why we're seeing such great performances.
Naomi Mikey Schnitger now coming down to the scoreboard then. She looks like she's got this one in control. Still a very close contest for second between Delgado Nadal and Lucia Berry. But it is at the 2:50 mark when Mikey Schnitger with a lead of a couple of seconds here. It's going to be tough to pull back, although Delgado Nadal trying to make a little bit of a move here. One lane down from the German swimmer. Coming back, certainly got away from the Italian now in lane number 5. So there's around about 2.5 seconds between the Italian and the Spanish swimmer at that top end, but I think the gap will probably have increased now. But Schnitger still with a good advantage at the 300 point. She is going to have a lead of 2 or 3 seconds here. Yeah, just over 3 seconds ahead of Delgado Nadal. And it looks like this field's getting stretched out, Liz.
Yeah, we saw there as Schnitger came off the wall to that final 100 metres. She went to her legs, she started kicking, she finished and attacking. I mean, I'm no 400 metre swimmer, as everybody knows, but it's always important to keep some pace back for that final 100 metres, to push on, to finish strongly, and she's definitely doing that as we come into this final turn.
Well, the lead doesn't look like it's depleting at all. Delgado Nadal in silver medal position, yeah, 3.22. It's almost exactly the same as it was down at the bottom end, at the finish end. And Naomi Mikey Schnitger now is heading for home. It's the final 50 metres for the German. It's 50 metres to go, less than 50 metres now for her, and another European title, a title for Germany, to go with the one that she won back in 2011. So 7 years later, Naomi Mikey Schnitger from Germany is leading them home, and she is going to claim the gold medal for the German team, and Schnitger will take that one in 4:45.83. It will be silver to Spain, Delgado Nadal, and bronze will go to Alicia Berra from Italy. So Naomi Mikey Schnitger, well, she worked hard for that one, but in the end she won it by, well, just under 3 seconds. So the gap did close in that final 50, but Schnitger had more than enough to hold on.
Yes, she really put down the gauntlet there. We can see her breathing quite heavily. She worked hard for that. She wanted it, and she went from it from the start. And there we see, not sure if those are tears of joy or tears of pain. Probably a bit of both.
Yeah, she looks absolutely exhausted. She won't be able to see the scoreboard at the other end of the pool. She'll be listening to the stadium announcer, see if she can make out exactly what the positions are.
There we see a great turn from her. It's a great underwater shot there, planting her feet on the wall, pushing off. No one else in the shot. There we go as she pushes off. So it's really hard to do it all by yourself, an attack like that. You have to go. You've got no one around you. You can't see anyone. So you've really got to drive it from the internal pain barrier yourself.
Someone with a visual impairment, of course. She reaches for that wall just a little bit short, but it was good enough for Naomi Mikey Schnitger there to take that gold medal. Still waiting for the final swimmer to finish now. Fatma Nurbaki from Turkey, just finishing at the wall now, and still pain etched on the face of Naomi Mikey Schnitger. Really put everything into that.
Yeah, as you said, Paul, she's been focusing more recently on the sprint event, so no matter how much you love an event, it still hurts if it's not the one you're training for.
Naomi Mikey Schnitger takes the European title again for Germany. Maria Delgado Nadal in the silver, Alicia Berra the bronze. Next event coming on is the men's 100 freestyle S4. Moving down the classification numbers, we're in the lower classifications. The swimmers with more of a physical impairment. S1 to S10, of course, the classifications, and this is down at the more severe end of the impairments. You'll find swimmers here affected in 3 or all 4 limbs in the S4 class. Perovinsky from Ukraine, first of 3 Ukrainian swimmers in one. There's Vino Radets, experienced man swimming in the S4 class, 22 European Championship medals that Vino Radets has. He is swimming up in the S4 class now, so it's going to be tough for him to add to that tally. There's Michael Schumacher, Dutch swimmer, fastest into this final. He had a good swim in the heats, fastest from his heat, sorry. There is, looks like Darko Duric, because the swimmer in lane 4 is not there at the start at the moment. He'll be entering from the side, the Israeli. There's David Smetany. And that is Tomi Brajda from Croatia. And there in the outside lane there, the 3rd Ukrainian, Denis Ostapchenko. And there is Croatian, so the Israeli swimmer Ami Dadon entering from the side. The other swimmers at the end, at the blocks there. You'll find a range of starts here, Liz.
Yep, in this event there's a range of impairments.
Ami Dadon from Israel was the fastest into this 100 freestyle S4 final.
There he is, choosing to start in the water.
Smetany tucking his legs up there, as we saw the French swimmer had a very good start there in lane number 5 off the blocks by Darko Duric.
The variety of starts, there are numbers starting in the water, these swimmers, a couple off the blockers. We saw Darko Duric, they're using that momentum to get up and into his stroke, because you have to play to the strengths of your impairment, which is what all of these athletes are doing. But here we see lane 4, the Israeli, Ami Omer Dadoun, up as he was with the heats, up and into his stroke, but he is not alone. Michael Schumacher of the Netherlands leading this first 50 out.
Well, Michael Schumacher, as I said, won his heat this morning. He looked pretty comfortable, and it looks like he is through in lane number 3, just to the bottom of those yellow lane markers. Ami Dadon, the 18-year-old, it's his first international experience. There, great shot, Darko Duric trying to come back into contention with David Smetany, the 2 old rivals there at the right-hand side of the picture. But here comes the young man, Ami Dadon, now just stroke for stroke alongside Michael Schumacher of the Netherlands, and it looks like it could be the Israeli just getting the edge here as they come into the last 10 metres. Michael Schumacher trying to come back, Smetany at the top's coming back, but it's only for the bronze for the Frenchman, because the gold is going to go to the youngster from Israel, and he will take it. Ami Dadon takes it in 1:25.40. The 18-year-old is the European champion.
Great swimming there from the centre lanes. Personal best time this morning in the heats, another personal best time in the final. And that's how you come and you stamp your authority on the European Championships and let the world know that you've arrived on the international stage.
That is an excellent time as well, 1:25.40, faster than he went this morning, and he had to, because Schumacher was right there.
We see there variety of those starts, but they're doing right up and into his stroke. No messing around, no trying to glide under the water. Schumacher led him down that first 50 metre. He shadowed him, and then he really unleashed the speed as he came down the second 50. And going into that final 5 metres, there was no doubt at this point that he was going to get his hand on that wall first.
He looks around, he is the champion, Ami Dadon from Israel. ahead of Schoenmaker, ahead of Smetanine, who takes the bronze. The 18-year-old Ami Omer Dadon from Israel is the European champion. Silver to Michael Schoenmaker of the Netherlands, and bronze to David Smetanine of France. Time for more medals, Liz. We can catch our breath now. 100 breaststroke SB9. And this was another shock, wasn't it?
Yeah, there's been a lot of exciting racing this evening already, and we're only about halfway through the programme.
We did think the two Ukrainians would be the men to beat in this one. That's the way it turned out, but Italian, it's absolutely superb. The Italian, thanks to the Italian media team next to us, they were going absolutely crazy. Medal presenters for tonight. And there's the bronze medalist, first of the Ukrainians, Dmitry Vanzenko. Taking that bronze medal. They try and challenge for the top spot. It's wide open when they came into this event in terms of entry times. I'd say the Ukrainians probably the two favourites. There's by no means a clear favourite. This man hoping to make it a gold medal to add to the two silvers he's won at the major championships. Denis Dubrov. Silver again for the Ukrainian.
Yeah, and he swam well. He's probably happy with how he swam, but he just got bettered on the day by a young, up-and-coming Italian who's riding the wave of that Italian team's success.
There he is. Stefano Raimondi is the gold medalist. He's the European champion. His first international for the Italian team. Didn't he swim well? Entry time of 1:12. He improved that to 1:10 in the heats this morning. 1:06 in the final tonight.
He definitely earned that gold medal.
Italian fans up on their feet again. Great night so far. Ukrainians in silver and bronze position. Team from Ukraine topped the table at the European Championships the last couple of times. But going to have their work cut out this time, I think. Very strong team though, of course, the Ukrainians.
Yeah, and they'll have a number of medals. We saw that another two Ukrainians on the podium. They've had a couple of 1-2 finishes this evening already. So it's exciting that they've got the depth across all of the classifications and not just one swimmer. They've got a number of swimmers in each event, which obviously increases their chances then of getting the higher tally.
Next medal presentation. now coming through onto the pool deck. And what a swim this was. One of the best swims we've seen tonight. Cracking world record time there. Chantal Zereveld of the Netherlands next there to her teammate Lisa Kruger. Malone back on medal presentation duty again. Bronze medal to Advaskaya from Belarus. Good swim from her into the bronze medal position for the Belarusian. That might be the first time we've seen a Belarus swimmer on the podium tonight. That 126.63 for that bronze medal position, but the two swimmers at the front of the field, the class of the field, you would say, the two Netherlands swimmers. Lisa Kruger, Paralympic champion. Kind of a shock Paralympic victory, wasn't it? It wasn't really expected, but it was a superb swim in Rio a couple of years ago, Liz.
Absolutely, and I think she can take a lot of credit in pushing Chantal Zereveld to that world record that she swum tonight after you said that surprise gold medal victory at the Paralympic Games.
Well, she certainly built on that, Lisa Kruger. But a proud swimmer accepting her gold medal. World record time, sensational world record time of 1:12.42 for this young lady. 1.35 seconds knocked off her roll time. That is absolutely incredible for Chantal Zereveld. Her third European title in a row, and she will enjoy this out. Well, composing herself, Chantal Zereveld. Tears still flowing for the new European champion, bettering her own world record by over a second. Incredible swim.
Yeah, all the emotion coming out there, and I think she will have surprised herself by that. When you're that good a swimmer, to take off 1.3 seconds of your best time, and it wasn't even an old best time, it was only from October of last year. So she's improved massively, which would suggest that she's put in a real shift in this training season, and she's reaping rewards. So why wouldn't you be emotional? She deserves to be.
Absolutely. One of the best swims of the night, I would say, Chantal Zereveld. More to come though. Men's 50 butterfly S7 final. Next final on to poolside. Six swimmers take the start for this men's 50 butterfly S7. The two Ukrainians in the two centre lane. Bodaiko back in again after his 200 individual medley swim. There he is, that blue cap of Ukraine. There's his teammate, Andrei Trusov. Again, another relative newcomer, 18 years of age, the second Ukrainian there. Bodaiko, 24 now.
It feels like he's been around from ever since his debut in 2009, but he is such a successful athlete. But again, an example of the depth that the Ukrainians have. Two swimmers occupying two centre lanes.
Andras Skarbjornstad there in lane two, better known as a freestyler. Nice pull-up. Well, bronze medalist last year at the World Championships, be hoping to be on the podium again. The European record holder, Yevgeny Bohodayko, twice a champion in this event. There is his young teammate, Andrei Trusov. Andraseni from Hungary, who's in lane 6. Might challenge for the medals. Karlo Knežević from Croatia. Decent team, decent squad of youngsters, the Croatians. He goes in lane number 7. Skar Bjornstad just getting helped up onto the block. Nice pull up as well. Be assisted up there in lane number 3, assisted at the start. This is the final of the men's 50 butterfly is 7. 2 Ukrainians in the middle.
Tobias pull up there, getting a great reaction to that block, but up and into the stroke straight away is Yevgeny Bohodayko, making the most of that block. He gets great power generated through his hips. He's affected in all 4 limbs, but you wouldn't notice to see him swim like that. The speed, there's no break in his stroke, and he's up and he's dominating this 50 meters.
Well, the only man that can challenge him is his teammate Trusov. It's going to be close at the end, but Bohodayko just going to take this one, and it's another title for Bohodayko in that time of 29.95. He's the only man under the 30-second mark. He was pushed all the way by Andrei Trusov, who takes the silver medal. It's gold and silver to Ukraine, and the bronze medal will go to Tobias Pullop of Germany. But there is Bohodayko. He was pushed there by his young teammate, wasn't he?
Yeah, and he got a great start though, and that's what set him up for those final stages. Second race of the night for him, and no coincidence that he's got over 25 European medals, because he is such an all-rounded athlete, and he really maximises what he has available to him. We saw him underwater, generating a lot of power through his hips, minimising the impact of the fact that he's affected in all 4 limbs. Kept his head down going into this wall, reached for the wall, and he looks close, but I would say, he would say that's comfortable.
Gap in the end was half a second between the 2 Ukrainians. Bohodayko takes another European title. Trusov the silver, and Tobias Pullop from Germany the bronze. Women's 50 butterfly, S7. Full field of this one, 8 swimmers. The start, Katarina Rössler, of Germany, goes in lane number 1, the 16-year-old. Next to the 15-year-old, Nicholas Sinclair Maitland from Sweden. Anna Hontar, just 14, the Ukrainian in lane 3. Real young field here, but the favourite, silver medalist last time, Judith Rolo Marechal from Spain. Denise Graal, beaten by the Spaniard at the last European Championships, the German. There's Mari Mäkinen from Finland. Ida Andersson-Wolf from Sweden in 7. And Nil Sahin, another one of the young Turkish team, 16 years of age. So we've got a 14-year swimmer from Ukraine in lane number 3. Anna Hontar, 14 years of age. In lane 3 goes next to the European silver medalist from 2016, Judith Rolo Marechal from Spain in 4. Real young field this time, Liz. But Judith Rolo Marechal, oldest in the field at 27, trying to go one better than that European silver medal she won 2 years ago.
Yeah, and Judith Rolo Marechal there getting the best reaction time. Her and Denise Graal very evenly matched in their impairment types, and very evenly matched as they go down this first 25 metres. Denise Graal is a 50-metre specialist, more predominantly freestyle, but she is going as fast as she can, and actually at the moment she's just in the lead.
Well, Denise Grau from Germany, who's better known as a freestyler. She has won medals in this 50 fly before. She was behind Judith Rollo-Maréchal in the last European Championships. The roles are reversed this time, and it's gold to Denise Grau of Germany. Well, not registering the time, but I'm sure Denise Grau was in first there, with Rollo-Maréchal in second place for Spain, and third place, well, it does look like the Swedish swimmer St. Clair Maitland might have got the touch there, the 15-year-old. Nicola St. Clair Maitland from Sweden, a young 15-year-old, might be on the medal podium in her first European Championships.
That would be brilliant for her, brilliant for Sweden, and brilliant for this event. We're just waiting on a confirmation there. As you said, Paul, Denise Grau's child not registering, so we'll have to wait for the official time to come up.
Wasn't a great finish from Denise Grau there. She obviously didn't touch the pad hard enough. You don't really batter these pads, sometimes that happens. So I'll have to go back to the backup timing. But Denise Grau, I'm sure she was clearly in front though.
She was, but she finished about half a stroke away from the wall. We'll see her start here. Judith Rollo-Maréchal getting the quicker reaction time, but Denise Grau then building through the 50 metres, getting on her shoulder and then taking over this race. And then we see the overhead shot shows just how far ahead she was. But we'll see if she comes to this wall. She stops about half a stroke early and relies on the glide to get her to that wall first.
Well, we'll wait for the official time. I think it's up now and confirmed Denise Grau as the European champion. 39.36 for the German. A little smile from Denise Grau. Denise Grau takes the title for Germany. Judith Rollo-Maréchal, silver medal again for the Spanish swimmer. And the 15-year-old Nicola St. Clair Maitland in third position. Well, good swimming there from the top two. Another good head-to-head. We've seen these good head-to-heads, haven't we?
Yeah, and on this regional, this continental level, when you've got those strong rivalries, they really prepare you, especially in mid-Paralympic cycle, in order to push on your training, keep developing, and then be ready, obviously now this time around for Tokyo 2020.
We've seen Dutch gold medalist just a little while ago, Chantal Zeureveld. Looks like we're going to be having another one here. And big smile on the face. Svan Hulthagen, Netherlands swimmer who's never headed in this 50 freestyle. Really got off the blocks very, very well. The others were playing catch up on him. Georgios Sabaltos and Alexander Komarov of Ukraine. Sean McGrath from Allianz Ireland presenting the medals. Just sponsors of this championship, of course, Allianz. The sponsors of the IPC. Alexander Komarov just had a little bit too much to do from the start for Van Hoofwegen.
Yeah, Van Hoofwegen had such a strong start that the rest of the swimmers were then playing catch all the way down the lane. But Komarov only just missed that silver medal.
0.2 of a second ahead of him, Georgios Spaltos from Greece. Coming back in the closing stages, good swim there from Georgios Spaltos. He'd be pleased with that silver medal, I'm sure. Getting his medal and the mascot. How much about the mascot, Liz?
No, I don't. I was waiting to see how long it would take you to mention those mascots. You want to pocket one of those, don't you?
Yeah, of course. It's Van Hoofwegen. He's got to accept this gold medal and his Shamrock mascot.
Yeah, I think there's a label on it with its name, you know.
That's your mission, is to try and find out. Svan Hoofwegen, great swim in the 50 freestyle. He takes gold. Well done, Ties van Hoefwegen. Down to the level of his two compatriots on the medal podium, Valtos and Komarov. And in this S6 we see loads of different classification of types of impairment in that class.
Yeah, and we'll see a range of that spread across the different disciplines as well, because different impairment types are better suited to certain distances and certain strokes.
We talked about the head-to-heads before. What a head-to-head this one was. What a sensational time it was for the winner. In fact, for the top two sensational times for the S6 women. Medalists led out by Gloria Savtsova, the Elizaveta Marishko gold medal spot, having a word with her coach there. They're coming up onto the medal podium. Great Britain's Ellie Robinson in third position. She will be the first to receive that medal. Kilcullen from Allianz, Ireland, presenting the medals this time. Ellie Robinson, mum and dad are here. We spoke to them at lunchtime.
Yeah, and Ellie Robinson's really come into good form this year. She burst onto the scene at the Paralympic Games, winning the 50 metres butterfly. And then it's really hard when you've done a best time like that and you've excelled so much to refocus and not expect too much of yourself too soon. But I'm great to see that this year she's found her speed again and she's back on the podium. And there's more to come from her this week.
There's Victoria Savtsova. She led for much of this 50 freestyle, just being pipped at the end. She had to get out fast. She had the better start than her country-mate. She knew she had to make that work for her. She almost did it inside the old world record time, but just pipped by 1/100th of a second by this young lady, Jelizaveta Marishko. New world record time, 32.78, 0.2 of a second inside the old world record mark.
Yeah, Mareshko's such a strong swimmer, a multi-event swimmer, so to start so positively, no wonder she's excited.
Two Ukrainians at the top there. Ellie Robinson in the bronze medal position. Really are going to have to find out what the name of that shamrock is like.
There's a label on it, if we can just zoom in. It says...
Tell our cameraman, there we go.
Sean the Shamrock? Is that...
Sean
yes,
the Shamrock.
It is!
Oh, well done, Johnson. Well done.
Day one and we know his name.
Normally doesn't happen until about day 4. Now the mission is you've got to get me one.
We got to find you one, and we got to
find me 2 for my 2 nieces.
Oh, always the way, isn't it? Oof. No pressure.
be on the case, though, Johnson. Men's S2 50 metres backstroke is the next event here. Aristides Makrodimitris from Greece, fastest from the heats today into this 50 backstroke final, ahead of Jacek Czech of Poland. Swimmers coming out, Liz. In the S2 class, we have 3 S1s in this, so it's right at the severe end of the impairment scale here for para-swimming.
And as a result, we'll see a lot of different types of techniques employed, different assistance required from the staff members that are accompanying them out, because everybody's playing to the strengths of their impairment.
Here's one of the S1 swimmers. S1 and S2 are combined here. There's only one set of medals, so the S1 swimmers have to swim up against swimmers with less of an impairment. Karapiris we saw going through, Bondarenko, now Iyad Shalabi. So close to the medals previously. Can he finally claim one here? Aristides Makrodimitris. He had a good swim this morning. Jacek Czech qualified in second position. I think he can go faster, the man from Poland. Francesco Battella, can he continue the good run of the Italian team? Anton Cole, the next swimmer in line 7. He's one of the S1s as well. Next to him, Golovko, his teammate. One of the S2 swimmers. So fastest from this morning was Makrodimitris. He swam very well. Makrodimitris has got 10 European medals, none of them gold. I wonder if he can just hit the top spot here. You'll be hoping he's going to do that one. And there's Shalabi in lane number 3. So many times Shalabi has been 4th place in the major championships.
I think all of these athletes have more to give in this final. They were also on very controlled heats to get their positions to the final, but conserve as much energy as possible because they know that, as you say, Paul, a lot is at stake this evening.
It's one length of the pool, 50 backstroke. We'll see different starts being employed. Very similar starts, I think, for all the swimmers. We saw a couple of the swimmers a little bit different in the starting techniques in the heats this morning, but similar for all the swimmers here, being held by the feet onto the wall, so the body in the correct position for starting that backstroke.
A starting technique that has been pioneered in this classification group over the years and proves very effective, as we can see from all 8 swimmers using that stretched out, feet on the wall start. But once they're up into their strokes, and then we see the different techniques deployed. And as we can see here in the 2 center lanes, it is Makrodimitris and Czech from Poland head to head down this first 25 meters.
Well, Jacek Czech with that double arm backstroke, Makrodimitris with the alternating arm. It's very close for the bronze medal position. Maybe Francesco Battella from Italy just had the advantage over Shalabi and Anton Cole. But here comes Makrodimitris trying to come back now on Jacek Czech. It's the double arm backstroke of Czech on the right hand side. It's Makrodimitris from Greece on the left hand side. It's very, very close indeed. Makrodimitris and Jacek Czech. It's all down to the final stroke here. It looks like Makrodimitris will get the gold medal. The Greek has done it in 105.07. Jacek Czech in second in 105.22. And Battella from Italy will claim the bronze. The Italians enjoying that one. The Greeks are enjoying it as well, because Makrodimitris came from behind and he took the gold medal, Liz.
Yeah, it was definitely the power of Jacek Czech's double arm backstroke versus the speed of Makrodimitris' single arm backstroke, and he had finished with a flurry there, still lying down, still won't have seen the scoreboard.
Well, there's Jacek Czech straight into his stroke, straight into that double arm backstroke technique. And coming into the last 5 there, it looked like the Polish swimmer had it, but just an increase in the arm rate there for Makro Dimitris. He reaches for the wall, and it was a good finish from Jacek Czech there, but not quite good enough for Makro Dimitris to lose that title. Aristidis Makro Dimitris takes it in 1:05.07, just ahead of Jacek Czech, and it is bronze to Italy, Francesco Bettella. Well, close races all the way through. This one could be very interesting. The men's 50 freestyle S11 for swimmers with no vision there. You'll see the swimmers wear blacked out goggles, so there no light can get through them. Here's the experienced man, Viktor Smirnov of Ukraine. The S11 race often throws up some interesting races when the swimmers are kind of zigzagging across the pool or trying to hug the lane ropes, trying to give them direction. Miroslav Drog from Poland in 1, Miroslav Smirka in 2, and Garis Matakis, well, can he claim only the 2nd European Championship medal ever for Lithuania? You have to beat this man. Wojciech Makowski had a good heat swim, and the reigning champion Grigory Zutilav from Belarus. What about this man? 32-year-old Viktor Smirnov, 15 Paralympic Games medals to his name. The Italian Salvatore Urso and Federico Bassani in the outside lanes here. Interesting, Bassani not wearing goggles. These blacked out goggles, of course, if swimmers have eyes. If they don't have eyes, then they're not required to wear the goggles. But this could be very interesting. Can we have another European Championship medal for Lithuania? Very good start there from Matakas.
A great reaction to the gun there from Matakas, up and into his stroke. And the key with these S11 swimmers is finding their line, finding their direction. So you'll see that they all try to go towards the lane rope to give them that direction down, so they don't swim any further than necessary.
Well, it's very close. It maybe is Zutilav, possibly from Belarus, who's going to take this one. Outside him is Viktor Smirnov, and it is Zutilav ahead of Viktor Smirnov. 27.01 for Zutilav, who takes it. Smirnov in 2nd, and it is Makowski in 3rd place, just ahead of Matakas. So Matakas just losing ground as he went down that 50, but the European champion once again, Grigory Zutilav from Belarus.
Great swim there from Grigory Zutilav. We saw in the heats this morning taken a big crash against the lane rope in the final 5 meters, which really set him off course. But there was no mistake in his direction. He found that lane rope. He went 50 meters, and when you get it right, you're 0.7 quicker. And as they get tapped, every swimmer has a different preference to how they get tapped, where on their body they get tapped. But the precision is so important to nail that finish.
Yeah, decent finish there from Grigory Zutilav. He takes the gold, 27.01 for the Belarusian. Viktor Smirnov, the silver medal position, 27.40, and Makowski of Poland in the bronze medal position. Women's 50 freestyle S11 final. Swimmers out onto the pool deck. There's Olga Yakubuk, the Ukrainian swimmer. There's no heat for this event. It's a straight final. Entry time of 35.45 for the first Ukrainian. Kachuk from Ukraine goes in lane number 2. There is the experience, Cecilia Camellini. Well, what a record that Camellini has over the years. A real standard bearer for the Italian team. But what about this? The young pretender, the world record holder, Lisette Braumsma, has had a sensational last 2 years. Maya Richard, the former world record holder in this event, There's Marina Podobna, another experienced swimmer. Podobna from Ukraine, Tanya Blatanova from Slovakia goes in 7, and Martina Rabolini from Italy, she is in the outside lane in lane number 8. Experienced campaigners in the centre of the pool. Lisette Brownsma, the world record holder, goes in lane 4. Lisette Brownsma set that world record just a couple of months ago, 30.71. Can she claim the European title? Can she better the world record?
The best reaction time there coming from Cecilia Camilleni of Italy in lane 3. But up and into her stroke straight away is Lisette Brusnima, who in recent 2 years has really led this event. But there we see an example of what happens when they can't quite find the lane rope. She veered off and swam an extra distance, which has given Maya Ricard an opportunity, but also in the outside lanes.
And there is Podobna actually going well in lane number 6, and it might be Podobna might take it in 30.22. Marina Podobna, well, she wasn't favoured coming into this, but she has done it. 30.22 ahead of Brownsma in 30.54, and in 3rd place is Maya Richard. And what about that time? 30.22 for Marina Podobna, and that is inside the world record time. Wow, what a swim from the Ukrainian. 30.22, I've said it again, I can hardly believe it.
No, and that's an example of what happens when you get the technique and the direction right. She got in from the start, not the quickest off the block, not even the strongest up and into her stroke. But we saw Brunsma really take a diversion off of the lane rope and swim across the lane, which enabled Podobna to just carry on down that 50 strong, flat, amazingly well. Great finish and deserved victory.
Oh, a clear win there for Podobna. Brownsma in 2nd place, and in 3rd spot was Maya Richard from Sweden. Sensational world record swim there from Marina Podobna. In 2nd place, also inside the old record, Lisette Brownsma and Maya Richard in the bronze medal position. Oh, what a superb swim from the Ukrainian. That was amazing. We've seen some great swims tonight.
Yeah, and as we said, the S11 swimming race is always open to a bit of drama because there's so much that is in the unknown. And there we go. To swim 2 swimmers again under a world record in the 50-metre freestyle, it really is setting us up for an exciting championship.
Well, back to the medal ceremonies again. Just looking back at the record of Marina Podobna, she really hasn't got much of a track record in the 50 freestyle. She did actually tie with Lisette Brownsma in the Rio Paralympic Games. That was for bronze medal position. But that's about the only major medal she's done in these championships. She's been around for a few years, Podobna. She'll have other events this week, and just wonder if she's going to claim more medals, maybe more records. Better known as a backstroker, so I wonder what she can do on the backstroke events, the Ukrainian Marina Podobna. Well, Ukraine had for them, a relatively quiet start to the evening. It certainly picked up, hasn't it?
Absolutely, and again, it shows you've got to be in it to win it. And if you've got that strength and you've got that depth, and everybody performs, then you will pick up those medals, which is exactly how we always find them, towards the top of the medal table.
There's the presentations now. Right on cue, Ukrainian top. This was an excellent swim as well, Denisenko. Emma Hines making the presentations. You can see the head of government affairs. Roger Dorsman from the Netherlands. Again, one of these young swimmers making their way onto the medal podium. time from him, 4:36.11. Never know, maybe been inspired by successes of Lisette Brownsma over the last couple of years. He's got medal of his own, Roger Dorsman. Just had confirmation, Liz, that you were right again. The Shamrock's name is Sean.
Whoop, whoop.
It's now official.
Well, now we just need to find one.
Danilo Chufarov, the silver medalist, he's still the world record holder. But he's not the European champion. That belongs to his teammate Yaroslav Denisenko. He's right on world record pace all the way through there. Just dropped off in the closing stages. Last 100, the last 50 or so. But it was a convincing win, Liz. No doubt about who was going to win that from a very early stage.
No, and now he's earned to hear the victory ceremony and the anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, the World Power Swimming European Championship medalists.
Denisenko so many times silver medalist. Behind the great Ihar Boki of Belarus. This time it's gold for him, gold for Ukraine. And delighted. Faces of the medalists, certainly Roger Dorsman can't keep the smile off his face. Great swim from the young man from the Netherlands.
Yeah, and the Netherlands have had a strong and steady night. They'll be pleased. The Ukrainians have had a good night. The Italians have had a good night. We've seen, as you said, the Israelis have had a really good night. We've seen the medal spread, and it's exciting. First day of competition.
And for first time in a little while, we will hear the German national anthem as well, because the winner of this 400 freestyle S12, Naomi Kishnidgar, looked like she'd left everything in the pool at the end of that race. That 400 freestyle recovered her composure now. She is in the centre of the medal podium. 400 freestyle. John Hogan from the organising committee making the presentations. Lucia Berra adds to the Italian medal tally. Always thought it would be between these three medalists of who was going to take the medals. In this one, they were the class of the field, the three of them. Lucia Berra taking the bronze medal. There's Gado Nadal from Spain. Spanish swimmer in the silver medal position this time. Medals at the major championships before, continuing that good run of form. And May K. Schnitgart European champion once again. She won back in 2011 in Berlin, their home championships. Top here again in Dublin.
Ladies and gentlemen, the World Power Swimming European Championship medalists.
Well done to the medalists, looking delighted there on the medal podium. Germany first, followed by Spain, then Italy. Final medal presentations will be concluded by the men's 100 freestyle. There's 4. And still a number of finals still to come this evening, so stay with us. The breaststroke swims as well for the SB14 class, butterfly for the S13 class, and the relay to finish swimming action and medal presentations, of course. And there is the young man from Israel. What a night they've had.
Yeah, there's been a number of teams that have got in on the podium, on the top spot more than once, and it's great to see that Israel have started this European Championship so successfully.
Steve Tormey from Toyota, Ireland. IM SM8 taking the bronze. Decent swim, experienced Frenchman, adds to his medal tally. It's always there or thereabouts, isn't he, IM SM8?
He's very confident in his own abilities. He doesn't get sucked into trying to go too fast too early, and there we saw he had a very strong second 50 to overhaul and get into that bronze medal position.
Silver medal to Michael Schoenmaker of the Netherlands. Yeah, another man who's been in the Netherlands international team for a number of years now. It was a good swim for him. Was better known as a breaststroker. Now performing very well in the freestyle events, and nearly, very, very nearly took the gold here. Right into contention right up until closing stages, but he was pipped by the newcomer, the 18-year-old Ami Dadon from Israel. And what a great swim that was from the young man. He was the fastest from the heat. It's a bit of a surprise that he was fastest into that final, but there was no doubt he followed that up with that fantastic final swim, and I think you can hardly believe it. Huge smile on the face of the gold medalist, Ami Dadon from Israel. He was really belting out that Israeli anthem, wasn't he? Really singing the anthem. Proud young man, a proud European champion. David Smetany, the old campaigner, and the new kid on the block in the middle, Ami Omer Dadon from Israel. It's a confident swim, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he improved on his heat time. We saw him come in and do best time in the heat, best time in the final. And David Smetany was probably one of the people he's really looked up to, you know, coming into Paris, because David Smetany, he has been such a role model in this S4 classification for so long. And when you come in and you beat your role model straight off, there's no better feeling.
Men's 100 metres breaststroke SB14 final. Making their way onto the bullside. The reigning European champion Scott Quinn, fastest into this final of the men's 100 breaststroke SB14. Mark Evers from the Netherlands is next to the second GB swimmer, Connor Morrison, 5 and 6. Well, the SB14 class, Liz, swimmers with an intellectual impairment.
Yeah, and so again we see a range of the way that impairment impacts each of the individuals. So some will struggle with pacing, some will struggle with nerves, some will just struggle with the other people running. But there we see Scott Quinn coming out, bouncing around. He's very energetic. He loves his sport. He's the oldest member on the British team, but he is loving it now as much as he ever has done.
And he would love to retain his European title that he won in 2016. Silver medalist in the Paralympic Games, of course, just pipped that gold medal by Aaron Moores, his teammate. Robert Isaac Johnson, medalist at the last year's World Championships, was in the outside lane for Iceland. So the world champion last year, Adam Venom, goes in lane number 2 for Norway. Seal Reinik from Ukraine might be a danger, going in lane number 3, qualified in 108.39, third fastest. The reigning champion though, there are the lucky boxer shorts, the trademark of Scott Quinn. He looks confident, doesn't he? Mark Evers, well, the Netherlands swimmer, seen it all before, twice a European champion himself in this event. Connor Morrison from Great Britain, his international debut. Can he start with a medal? Great Britain swimmer Mer Parmentier, well, he was a medalist at the World Championships last year. All 3 medalists in this field. Michel Jomek, the Netherlands swimmer, completing the lineup for this one, but great swim in the heats for Scott Quinn. Good swim from Mark Evers next to him. Connor Morrison as well in lane number 6. He also swam well. Reinik, Ukrainian, in lane number 3. That yellow cap will be a danger to the swimmers inside of him. Scott Quinn will start this one as the favourite.
All away there pretty evenly. Mark Evers, as always, getting a great underwater phase up and into his stroke. But as you point out, Paul, Ukrainian Krajniak in lane 3, going for this, leading down the first 50 metres. But Scott Quinn is an experienced campaigner and he won't let that phase him.
Well, Scott Quinn traditionally has a very good finish to this 100 breaststroke. If he's in contention with the leaders, you would expect him to come back on them, but Krajniak from Ukraine has got a very good lead and he's inside world record pace at the turn.
Yeah, and Krajniak, that world record is from Rio 2016. Aaron Moore's not in the race to defend that, so Krajniak has led, and now this is important for Scott Quinn. He'll be able to see Krajniak out the corner of his eye, and he needs to not panic and remember that he's got a really strong finish.
Well, Scott Quinn and Connor Morrison with the black caps of Great Britain are coming back to the the yellow cap of Ukraine, Vasyl Krajnic. Scott Quinn right up in the corner of the Ukrainian shoulder now. He's going past the Ukrainian, and Conor Morrison also there as well. And it is gold to Scott Quinn. It is silver to Conor Morrison, and it's bronze to Krajnic from Ukraine. Scott Quinn takes it in the last stroke, 107.21, ahead of his teammate by 0.3 of a second, and that is a defiant Scott Quinn.
Yeah, he'll just be glad to get that victory. When you get to these competitions, it's all about the win. The time is a bonus. So he will be really pleased with how he swam that. We can see there, he loves dancing, he loves feeling the moment. He's a very, very emotional guy.
Oh, what a good start it was from Krajnic. Vasyl Krajnic first off the blocks, and Scott Quinn, well, I think he might have been expecting to be behind in the early stages. It's his trademark to come through at the end, but the yellow cap of Krajnic, well, he led for much of this race up until just about there, where Scott Quinn and Conor Morrison on his international debut came through, and it was the two black caps of the GB swimmers who take gold and silver. What a great result for the GB team, just ahead of the other two swimmers there, Krajnic and Mark Avers.
A great shot there. That's always a good montage shot. It means so much to Scott Quinn to lead from the front with his team.
Scott Quinn retains his European title in the men's 100 breaststroke SP14, and it's silver to Great Britain as well, with Conor Morrison, with Vasyl Krajnic the bronze. Women's 100 breaststroke SP14 final. Line up for this one, Eva Coronado Tejeda goes in lane number 1. 17-year-old Amber van der Kroek in lane number 2. Bethany Firth, well, 3 Paralympic goals from Rio for the Great Britain swimmer in 3. Louise Fides, fastest entry time into this one, the World Series winner this year in 2018, but here is the world record holder, Paralympic champion Michelle Alonso Morales. Pernilla Lindberg from Sweden had a great World Championships last year. She goes in 6. Janina Falk from Austria in 7. And the 8th swimmer, the final swimmer in this final, Seval Tekin, the 18-year-old from Turkey in the outside lane. World record holder Michelle Alonso Morales goes in lane 5 next to the World Series winner 2018, Louise Fides from Great Britain.
Good reaction there from Spanish swimmer Alonso Morales in lane 4, but the best start and underwater is actually from Bethany Firth in lane 3 of Great Britain.
Michelle Alonso Morales there, just in the top of those yellow lane markings. She's a world record holder. She's had a great record in the major competition. She's taken the last 3 European titles in this event. She would love to make it 4 in a row for the Spanish team. But Louise Fides, the youngster, 17 years of age, in the middle of those 3, well, she will be hoping to get on the medal podium in her first international, and she's going well, but behind Morales and Bethany Firth.
Yeah, Alonso Morales always has such a high stroke rate. She takes out that first 50 metres. Her and Bethany Firth are used to racing each other a lot, but here now, Louise Fides, who is in great form, her personal bestest from this year, is making her move and up on the shoulder of Alonso Morales.
Well, there are 15 metres to go. Alonso Morales trying to hold on, but the world record holder, I think it's been overtaken by the young GB swimmer. It's Louise Fides. She's coming clear. She's going to take gold. It's gold for Louise Fides of Great Britain in 1:14.17. Silver for Alonso Morales of Spain. And it's bronze to Bethany Firth of Great Britain. But Louise Fides, well, how strong was she in that second 50? Third at the turn, surging through to take gold.
They're a great example for Louise Vitis about how to swim your own race. Don't get sucked into somebody else's race plan. Alonso Morales, always brilliant down that first 50 metres. And it's about if she's built up enough of a lead to hold the challengers off. But today, as we see, Louise Vitis finishing strongly and getting her hands on that wall first.
Well, the two GB teammates are two medalists in this one. It's gold to Louise Vitis, bronze to Bethany Firth, silver to Spain. Louise Vitis takes the European title in her major international debut, ahead of the world record holder Alonso Morales and ahead of her teammate Bethany Firth. Well, two great breaststroke races. We're now on to the butterfly, Liz. And it's the men's 100 butterfly S13 final.
Well, this has a lot of potential, but all of these there in lane 1, Thaliso Engel of Germany. A lot of youngsters on the outside. In lane 2, Enrique Jose Alambara Moya. Lane 3, there's Kamil Rzelski. And the great man of lane 4, the Belarusian Ihor Boki. He will be the man to beat in this race. Frenchman Alex Portal in lane 5. Borja Sanz Tamayo of Spain in lane 6. Antti Antero Latika of Finland in lane 7.
Great Ihor Boki from Belarus in the centre lane. He is the reigning world, Paralympic and European champion. So Alex Portal of France, 16-year-old, making his debut in this European Championships, the major international. He's won the World Series before, Alex Portal. So he'll be one of the favourites for a medal, but really, you could not look past the great man in the centre, Ihor Boki, the world record holder. World record set when he won gold in Rio, 53.85, and he's away and clear in these early stages.
It's a sight that we have become so used to seeing Ihor Boki leading from the front. But what he does really well is he attacks every race that he does. 24.73 is a really good first split. And here we see now he's the only man in the shot as we come into that final 25 metres.
Well, Ihor Boki stretching away. Can it be a world record swim for the great Belarusian? He's inside world record pace here, 53.85. It stands. It's going to be gold for Boki. Is it going to be a world record? And it's just outside there by 0.1 of a second. But Ihor Boki takes the gold. It's second and silver medal to Alex Portal, the young French swimmer, the 16-year-old from the French team. And it is Kamil Rzelski from Poland for the bronze in a time of 1:42. A clear bronze medal swim there from Rzelski. Alex Portal clear in second, but no doubt about the winner, Ihor Boki. That was dominant.
Really, the athletes just got to try and beat him off the start, because that's the only part of the race at the moment that they got a chance of dominating him over, because he is such a dominant force, such a great technician. And every time he comes in and he gives it everything he's got, regardless of the event. And another gold medal to add to his bag.
Ihor Boki of Belarus takes the gold, just 0.1 of a second outside his own world record. It's silver to France, bronze to Poland. More medal ceremonies for us now before we move on to the relay. Nice way to finish the evening, the relay, finish the swimming action. Medal ceremony for the S7 meters butterfly. Again, 2 Ukrainians away on the medal podium. Kovacic, IPC European Committee. Elias Polak, another medal for him at the major championships. The medal in the World Championships last year. He's back on the podium again. Bronze medal this time for Germany. Adding to their tally. What a good swim it was from Andrei Trusov, the young man from Ukraine, challenging his more esteemed colleague, Evgeny Bordaiko. It's an excellent swim, particularly strong in the closing stages of that one. Bordaiko had a good start, but Trusov came back in the closing stages.
Yeah, and sometimes you just run out of pool in that 50 metres, don't you? But you know how long the race is before you start, so he'll go away and he'll work on that start and hopefully push Bordaiko next time out.
Well, I make this European medal number 28 for Evgeny Bordaiko. Got the all-time stats, but I can't think of anyone that could challenge the tally in the medal stakes for this young man. He had a great swim, and he will enjoy this anthem of Ukraine. Well, by my reckoning, Liz and I have been doing our sums during that medal presentation. 21 golds now for Evgeny Bordaiko. 6 silver and 1 bronze. It's not a bad record, is it?
Pretty impressive. 1 of each and a whole host more.
Bordaiko, multi-eventer. You really have to be a multi-eventer to rack up that sort of tally in terms of medals, and he's also a kind of a key feature in the Ukrainian relay team, which helps as well.
Yeah, both the 34-point and the 20-point. So yeah, he really does maximise his capacity to win medals, but have that many when you're only 24 is a pretty incredible stat.
Women's S7 presentation. Now Denise Grahl there, right in the centre. Great swim from Denise Grahl, wasn't it? Excellent tussle that she had. It was a head-to-head with Judith Marshall from Spain, just as they had in the previous Europeans a couple of years ago. 2 years ago, it was a Spanish swimmer who came out on top. Silver medal at that time, silver medal again for the Spanish swimmer at that time. Denise Grahl was in bronze medal position. And England from Sweden taking that bronze medal. Well, it's an excellent swim from the Swedish swimmer. Bronze medal in her first major international competition. She'll be delighted with that performance. With Roland Marchal. Well, real head-to-head battle there with Denise Grau. Just silver medal position for the Spaniard.
Yeah, and Denise Grau came through strong at the end. The Spaniard will be happy with the way that race went. There we can see shaking the medal, shaking Sean the Shamrock. All smiles. And she's happy, smiling to Carlos in her hand too.
And there's the champion, Denise Grau, taking a gold medal here. Interesting to see what Denise Grau can do in the freestyle events. Better known as a freestyler.
She's obviously got the speed, and when that fly swim there with her finish, she missed the wall slightly, so she's got even more speed, but she will enjoy this national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, the World Paraswimming European Championship medalists.
Well done, Denise Grau. Well done to all the medalists. Another medal for Germany. Interesting to see what the medal table is looking like on this first night, Liz. You all over it?
I'm all over. I've only done gold medals up until this point.
Oh, well, that's okay. For the first night.
I think it's right.
Go for it.
So I have it that currently Italy have 3, Israel have 2, Greece have 2, Netherlands have 2, Ukrainians have 4, Germany have 2, Belarus have 2, and GB have 2. So Great Britain there, starting late but finishing with a flurry.
Well, I wonder who is going to take this one, because the next race is due on. And it is men's 4x100 metres freestyle relay, 34 points. Fastest entry time from the team from Italy in lane number 4. The Germans next to them in 5, and Great Britain in lane number 3. Well, 34-point relay, always very interesting way that this race pans out. Some very strong teams in there. Ukrainian team look like they're going to be tough to beat though, Liz.
Yeah, and it's key to mention here that Italy and Germany are the only 2 teams that actually entered a time. Many of the other squads are trying out new combinations, so they can't enter a time, which is why we find those 2 in the centre lanes, but that could be misleading.
The Ukrainian team just going through, followed by Great Britain. The Italians, a strong line-up, and I wonder if they can into the mix, you have to say. So Ukraine looking really, really strong. Germany, Portugal, and Spain complete the lineup. For me, I think it could well be tussle for the minor medals here. Italian team team that won a silver medal in the World Championships last year. Ukraine looking really strong though. They're led off by Denis Dubrov and anchored by Maxim Krypak. Mikey Jones will take out the Great Britain team. Jacob Leach, Ollie Hind and Lewis White make up that quartet. The Italians there will be led off by the breaststroke gold medalist Stefano Raimondi. German team goes in lane number 5, and there's the Portuguese team, very young team from Portugal. They'll be led off by Javid Graxa, and Spanish team on the outside lane as well. Again, a young team, but anchored by Jose Antonio Maria Alcaraz there on the right-hand side, and he will be strong in that closing leg. There's Bo Dyko, the blue cap of Ukraine, trying to add to that ever-growing medal tally. Malte Braunschweig from Germany will lead off the German team. Denis Dubrov, though, I have to think Ukraine are going to be the favourites for this one. 34 points. Different classes. The numbers of those classes all running up to 34 points maximum. Ukrainians have gone for 2 S10s and 2 S7s in their combination leg.
Yeah, that was a combination that in the past proved so strong for the Great Britain team when they dominated for a number of years around the early 2000s. But here, actually, Denis Dubrov has company in lane 4 from the Italian Stefano Raimondi.
Well, Raimondi and Denis Dubrov fought out the gold and silver medals for the breaststroke, and Raimondi has gone really fast here, and it looks like he is going to head Denis Dubrov, and it looks like Raimondi is going to give the Italian team a lead. Bit of a tussle for the bronze medal position as well. Germany and Portugal have gone off fast, but it is going to be Italy who are first to the turn. Raimondi will hand over to Menciotti. Menciotti, the Italian swimmer, now in ahead of the Ukrainian S7 swimmer, the first of the Ukrainian S7s, and that is Bo Dyko back in the water again. But Italy with a very strong start, and they've got a good lead over the Ukrainians, but the Ukrainians have used less points.
Yeah, and the Italians are front-loading their team. They have an S5 in Antonio Fantini on their anchor leg of this relay team, whereas, as you say, Paul, the Ukrainians started with a 10 and they're going to finish with a 10 in Maxim Krypak. So we could see this lead change a number of times, but it's a very, very exciting race.
Well, Italy are going to touch first at the halfway point. Looks like Ukraine might just hold on to the second position now. Germany in third place. Also coming back, well, the Spanish team there over in lane number 7. But Italy are in now, and it is Simone Barlam, the S9 swimmer, the European record holder in the S9 class, and it looks like it is Kavatsaya for Ukraine. He's got a lot of ground to make up here. Germany and Spain battling it out for the third position now, and also in there in lane number 6 for Portugal, Linares, and Great Britain with some ground to make up in lane number 3, but they are coming through.
Yeah, and Oliver Hind, they're already off to a good start, making up ground on the Portuguese swimmer, Diogo Cancela. It's always good to chase, but here we see the Italians with a healthy lead now as they come into the wall to hand over to Antonio Fantini for this anchor leg.
Oh, just watch the gap then between first and second position. Antonio Fantini is a very strong swimmer. He is an S5 swimmer. He'll be up against one of the top S10s in the world, and that is Maxim Krypak on the final leg for Ukraine. And lane number 7, it might be the Spanish team right there in contention for the medals with Jose Maria Alcaraz there in lane 7. So Krypak is in, but the lead is huge that the Italians have.
Yeah, and we've seen a 34-point relay pan out like this so many times before. There, Fantini turns and he's got 45 meters to go, but Maxim Krypak is charging and he's already 5 meters into the turn.
Well, the Italians are going absolutely mad here. Can Fantine just hold on to this lead? Maxim Krypak is coming back. Oh, the Ukrainians are coming back into contention now. The gap is around about 10 metres. They're only 15 metres to go. I think Fantine might just hold on here. It is going to be goal for Italy. There's nothing that Krypak can do, and Italy have won it. It's silver to Ukraine. Great Britain and Spain fighting it out for the bronze, but it is going to be Maria Alcaraz for Spain to bring the Spanish back into the bronze medal position. A great last leg there for Lewis White to bring Britain through into 4th spot. But what a swim for the Italians. They front-loaded the team. They left the lower-class swimmer to the end. He had clear water, and there was nothing anyone could do about it. Goal to Italy.
Well, everybody loves the relay, Paul, and the reason is it is just so exciting because tactics come into play. There's so much swimming going on. There's so many different classifications in the water, so many different strokes and techniques, and everybody always gives it their all.
Well, the Italian team there, they can hardly believe it. The Italians around by us were going absolutely crazy. The Italians in the stands are waving those flags. Well, the result has come up on the scoreboard. There has been a disqualification. It doesn't affect the medal positions. The team from Germany listed as being disqualified. There are the European champions, and what a swim that was for the team from Italy. I just thought that Maxim Krypak was going to pull it back in the closing stages there, and well, he came back like an absolute train, the Ukrainian. But what a lead that the Italians had, and what a find they've had in this man Raimondi, who won the breaststroke, and didn't he lead them off well?
Yeah, and he really gave them a stronger start than I bet that the rest of the Europeans were imagining. Maybe the Italians knew it was going to happen, but they set him up. They set him up so well. He set the team up so well, and they gave Fantine the best chance, because it's really difficult when you know that you're going to be being chased down by a swimmer that's 5 classifications higher than you.
Well, the Italians went an S10 first, an S10 second, an S9, and then an S5. And the young man, Antonio Fantine, well, not sure how aware he was, how close Maxim Krypak was. He looked across the Ukrainian team, he looked up at his teammates, and there they are. Oh, they are loving it. What a night they've had, the Italians.
Yeah, and it's such a diverse event because there's so many different combinations that you can use, and people are branching out from the standard 7, 8, 9, 10 or the 2 8s, 2 9s that have been so successful in the past.
Italy win the men's 4x100 freestyle relay, 34 points. Ukraine take the silver, and Spain win a close contest for bronze. Well, we can breathe.
We can. I always feel like I'm swimming that relay with them. Whew.
That was a great swim from the Italian team. Excellent tactics that they used there, and I think they must have surprised the Ukrainians as well. Ukrainians went with strong guys at the front and the back, and the lower classifications in the middle, but Italians swam so well.
Yeah, and that's a combination that we've seen, 2 10s, a 9 and a 5. The great Brazilians use that combination so successfully, and they have done in the past, but now they've got company.
All the time, 3:50.86 for the Italian team, just 2 seconds away from the world record held by Russia. She stood for 3 years, so not too far away from that record. You can imagine with a team as young as them, they might just try and stick together and try and challenge that record in the very near future.
Yeah, and the Australians over at the Pan Pacific Championships, they also put in a very young, strong 34.100 freestyle relay team just last week. So it's shaping up again to be, as always, an exciting event at the Paralympic Games.
Well, the next set of medal ceremonies coming in now to finish off the evening. So final swimming action in the pool. Of course, stick with us for these medal ceremonies. Celebrate the success of these athletes. Jacek from Poland, enjoying being on the medal podium again. Greek swimmer Stelios Makrodimitris, medalist at the major championships before. 10 medals he's won at the European Championships, but never a gold until now. 11th time lucky for Makrodimitris.
Keep trying, everyone loves to try. You get your rewards in the end.
Another medal for Italy, Francesco Bottella, taking that bronze medal in this men's 50 backstroke S2. Bottella waving to his fans there, happy to be on the podium. Just pipped at the end. It was an excellent race between the two leaders. Jacek taking a silver medal. Just 15/100ths of a second behind the eventual winner. Jacek led again for much of that race. Just the speed of the man next to him, one line up from him, the Greek swimmer Stelios Makrodimitris. It's Greek's second gold medal of the night. And it was an excellent swim from him, using the technique of alternating backstroke arms compared to the double arm backstroke of Jacek. The man, the alternating backstroke that won out in the day. It's gold again to Greece tonight, and gold for the first time at the European Championships to Makrodimitris.
Ladies and gentlemen, the World Paraswimming European Championship medalists.
Nice to hear the Greek anthem again. Quite enjoyed that one. Yeah.
Yes, a nice anthem, I think. And he's really happy to hear it. Makrodimitris, as you said, never heard it before for himself at the European Championships, so worth the wait, I'm sure.
These guys, I'm sure, will be back later on in the week. First day, of course, of 7 days of action here in Dublin. Here at the National Aquatic Centre. Got another medal ceremony. Men's 50 freestyle S11. Again, a great contest this one was, being won by Belarusian swimmer Grigory Sudilov, retaining his European title. He kind of burst onto the scene in 2016, winning the European title. Continued to be around the top spots, World Championship, Paralympic Games. Another gold medal for Belarus. We always like the S11 races, Liz. So much can happen in these S11 swimmers with no vision at all.
Yeah, and it's so much, just so different. The components of the race are very different. They have to trust the people that are leading them to the races, that are tapping them, and also the people who are checking their goggles. Because as you've said so many times, Paul, in these S11 races, if their goggles have even a little scratch on them to let the light in at the end of the race when they're checked, then they'd be disqualified.
Yeah, always a potential. That can happen. Everything just got to come right. The right time. Make sure no stone unturned with your preparation. Czech Makowski taking the bronze medal for Poland. Silver medal, Viktor Smirnov from Ukraine. Great career he's had. 15 Paralympic Games medals to his name. He won 5 golds back in Athens in 2004. He couldn't do anything wrong in that competition in Athens. Seemed to just be able to win everything by the smallest of margins. And he was beaten today by this young man, Igor Sutulov of Belarus. Another European title for him.
And continuing the Belarusian visually impaired strong dynasty that they have.
Might have a decent relay team as well. Sutulov takes the gold medal for Belarus.
Ladies and gentlemen, the World Paraswimming European Championship medalists.
S11 medalists posing for photographers. Next medal presentation coming on very shortly with the women's equivalent.
Wasn't that a great race, that women's equivalent? Whew, all the drama, all the excitement, all packed into 50 metres freestyle.
Yeah, unbelievable race there for the winner, Irina Podobna. 2 swimmers inside the old world record. One only a fraction of a second behind, but only a bronze medal. Be within 0.4 of a second of the world record and come away with a bronze medal. Here's the champion in the middle, Irina Podobna, positioned at the front of the medal podium. Kim Harbison from the organising committee will present the medals, present the bronze medal to Maja Richard of Sweden, former record holder in this event. 31.17 for the Swede, good enough for the bronze medal. About 0.7 of a second ahead of Cecilia Camolini from Italy, finishing 4th position. Very good swim from silver medalist Lisette Brunsma. She set the world record in June this year, 30.71. She swam 30.54, 17/100ths of a second faster inside her own best time. Still came away with a silver medal.
Yeah, great swim for her, and she'll know that she's got more speed because she actually had a little directional issue into the final stages of the race. But what I love about Lisette is she's always so smiley.
She certainly is. She's a great champion, Lisette Brunsma, but it's silver today for her and gold to this young lady, Marina Podobna. Well, what a swim. She was only the 4th fastest time coming into this. Not much of a track record in the 50 freestyle. She did win the bronze medal level with Lisette Brunsma in Rio. That's the only time she's done anything in this race, but it's a gold this time and a world record for Marina Podobna.
Ladies and gentlemen, the World Paraswimming European Championship medalists.
Oh, well done, Marina Podobna, one of the swims of the night. And group hug for the medalists. Lisette Brunsma and Maya Richard, either side of the champion. So photographs done, next medal ceremony on the way. First time tonight we'll hear British national anthem. It's the men's 100 breaststroke SB14. What an excellent race that was.
Went down to the wire.
And led out by Conor Morrison. What a swim he had. Silver medal, Scott Quinn. Still celebrating Scott Quinn. What a great swim that was. Vasyl Krajnic from Ukraine. Well, he led for a long way in that race, the Ukrainian. Thought he might have been going to cause an upset for a while. Krajnic in the bronze medal position. Former president of Paralympics Ireland, James Gradwell, presenting these medals. And he'll start with that bronze medal. Bit of an unknown quantity coming into this one, Liz.
Yeah, and I think this is not going to be the last that we see of him, and he's now going to come in and push Scott Quinn all the way. Competitive field, the S14s, and this 100 breaststroke is no different to any of the other events within their programme, so very exciting times ahead leading into Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games.
Presentation of the bronze medal. And Sean the Shamrock.
I'm really pleased that we've learned his name on day one.
Need to see one up close now. Conor Morrison takes the silver medal. It's his international debut. Man from north of Scotland, trains in Aberdeen. He had to wait for that international debut. He was selected last year for the World Championships in Mexico, but the GB team chose not to go to that one. He's had to wait till these European Championships. Season has been up and down, but he's qualified for the Great Britain team and now on the podium at these European Championships. Great swim there for Conor Morrison, and he was very, very close to taking the gold.
He was, and he was also very, very close to his personal best time, which is great at this level in your first major championships.
Well, the European champion again, it's retained the European title for Scott Quinn. It was such a hard-fought race, but Scott Quinn has come out on top again in a time of 107.21. An improvement from his heat time. A couple hundredths of a second, but Scott Quinn takes that European title. What a hard-fought race it was. Coming from behind the Ukrainian for a long period of time, but Scott Quinn always very strong at the end of the race.
I'm very, very excited to get another gold medal.
Ladies and gentlemen, the World Paraswimming European Championship medalists.
Oh, Scott Quinn, gold medalist again. There's the GB coaching staff. Did them proud tonight. Scott Quinn and Conor Morrison, gold and silver medalist in the 100 breaststroke SB14.
Great race there from all three athletes. Really committing to that 100 metres, and it was exciting right till the end. And Scott Quinn there, we see he's over the moon to win that gold medal, and it's because a number of athletes we'll see throughout the week be multiple event swimmers, but he really is a 100 metres breaststroker. So he's come here, and now in his eyes his work will be done.
It was an excellent swim for Scott Quinn. For Great Britain's first gold medal of these championships, and hot on the heels of that one, it was her second gold medal of the championships in the women's equivalent race, women's 100 breaststroke SB14. Medal presentation led out by the world record holder Michelle Alonso Morales. Two Great Britain swimmers following her, Louise Fiddis. Race as well, coming from behind, third place at the turn, coming through to take gold. Jessie Barr, ambassador of the championships, making these presentations. Bethany Furr taking the bronze medal. 3 gold medals that she won in the Rio Paralympic Games. She'll have other events this week, but probably you would say the breaststroke is her weakest of all her events for Bethany Furr. Still on the medal podium though.
Yes, so she's set herself up for another exciting week, another exciting championship. You can see she's happy. Season's best time for her to take that bronze medal.
Michelle Alonso Morales, great record in the 100 breaststroke events. Not been beaten many times, but it's silver tonight for the Spanish swimmer. She was behind this young lady. Louise Fittes from Great Britain is the European champion. Her international debut. She comes away with a gold, and wasn't it such a mature swim from the youngster?
Yeah, much like Scott Quinn, she didn't panic. She let the girls lead her out either side, and then she finished really strongly and deserves to hear this national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, the World Paraswimming European Championship medalists.
Louise Fittes from Great Britain's a gold medalist in the women's 100 breaststroke SP14. Alonso Morales the silver, and Louise Fittes' Great Britain teammate Bethany Firth the bronze. To the end of these victory ceremonies, Liz, the end of the night's action, the men's 100 butterfly S13. Again, we'll hear the national anthem of Belarus. We're talking about Bohodajko's record before in the European Championships. But Boki's got an impressive record as well. This will be his 13th gold medal in the championships, and it's all the better because in certain championships in the past he hasn't had a number of events. The S13 events haven't taken place at certain championships in the past. And
he also hasn't had the opportunity to swim in as many relays, but he is just as dominant a multi-event swimmer as Bohodajko, but just with less opportunity. But a phenomenal swim to be only 0.1 off of his world record time.
Yeah, he swum it pretty much on his own all the way through. Kiramovi takes charge of the medals for this ceremony. Kamil Wacylski, but Poland is the bronze medalist. Just over the 1 minute mark. 1 minute .42 for the Polish swimmer. They picked up a few medals tonight. Bronze medal this time. Alex Portal, we saw him at the World Series event in Sheffield earlier this year. Impressed us then, he's impressed us tonight. Silver medal for 16-year-old Alex Portal.
A new wave of French swimmers. We saw many of them at the World Championships in Mexico in December last year, and 16 years old, plenty of potential.
There is the great man Ihar Boki from Belarus, another gold medal at the European Championships, and had to swim almost the entire race on his own. He led from the very early stages, testing himself against his own times, just 0.1 of a second outside his own world record. But another gold medal for Ihar Boki.
Ladies and gentlemen, the World Paraswimming European Championship medalists.
Well, yeah, Moki. Wonder if anyone can challenge him in any event. Breaststroke has quite often been the one where he hasn't won the gold, but he's improved his breaststroke over the last couple of years. It's become just about as dominant as the other events.
Yeah, he's a very strong swimmer, great individual medley swimmer, and as we saw there, he's great at racing by himself as well. He always attacks the time and never disappoints.
Those medalists making their way off the podium. We have one final presentation to make now, and that's for the relay teams. What a cracking race that was. 4x100 freestyle relay, 34 points. 34 points, of course, refer to classifications of the swimmers, and teams can put these swimmers on in the order that they choose, as long as their combined classifications don't come up to more than 34 points. And surprise winners, I would say, are the team from Italy. Surprised because a couple of the swimmers really unknown quantities to us. First time we've seen the likes of Stefano Raimondi. Didn't he have a great opening leg?
He did really set the rest of his team up to lead with the clear water, which meant that then Antonio Fontine had that advantage that he managed to hold on to.
Suzanne Ebbs making these presentations. Final presentation of the night. Spanish team, well, they were delighted with that bronze medal position, just pipping the team from GB. Lopez Sanz, Martos Miguel, Sheikh Martinez and Maria Alcaraz on that final leg. Again, a young team that they have, with the experienced man, the old head on the final leg there, Jose Maria Alcaraz.
Yeah, phenomenal swimmer to bring them home, and a well-deserved bronze medal for that Spanish team.
Excellent swim from the Spanish team. They look absolutely delighted with that one. Ukraine, well, we thought they were the pre-race favourites. Weren't sure if anyone could really touch this strong quartet. Led off by Denis Dubrov. Daiko on the second leg, winning another medal, adding to that ever-growing tally. Kaved Saya, third leg, and they were anchored home by Maxim Krypak. Again, a very strong quartet for Ukraine. 3:53.92. Had a few seconds to make up on the winners. They were the team from Italy.
Yeah, Maxim Krypak did his best to chase down Antonio Fantine, but the Italians just had too strong a lead.
And what about this Italian team? Raimondi, Menciotti, Barlam and Fantine. Here's the anchor man, Antonio Fantine. Menciotti was the lead off. Sorry, it was a second place swimmer there, that's Menciotti. Simone Barlam, looking forward to seeing him in the S9 races. Great World Championships last year. The sprint events, S9 50 and 100 freestyle. Did a great leg for the Italians. It's a great team. And a great gold medal for the team from Italy.
Ladies and gentlemen, the World Paraswimming European Championship medalists.
Final ceremony of the night. Italy taking that excellent win in the 4x100 34-point relay. Forward to seeing these swimmers again as the week progresses. Recognise Simone Barlam there in the centre. He was shaven-headed last year and we saw him at the World Champs in Mexico.
He's very, very tall swimmer as well, so no wonder he's so powerful on those sprint events.
It's a final medal presentation of this day one of competition here in Dublin. Swimmers just making their way off the podium. Well, teams packing up. Day one of competition here is at an end. We've seen some great swims tonight, some world record performances, some brilliant head-to-heads. That's day one done, Liz. It's been a good night.
Very exciting night to start the week.
We hope, ladies and gentlemen, you've enjoyed this night of action. Seen some excellent swims there, starting off with that 200 freestyle. The Italians. Well, some great races we've seen tonight. What about that? Raimondi, the youngster from Italy, taking that gold medal. What a fantastic swim it was, surprising Denis Dubrov. And excellent swim there for Chantal Zuiderveld. Huge world record ahead of her teammate Lisa Kruger. And some brilliant performances all the way through. It's hard to pick a bad race tonight, Liz.
No, there was lots of exciting races, so many highlights. I think we weren't sure how this was going to go, but there's been so many close races, so many great attacking races, and also a few world records thrown in for good measure.
Yeah, the sprinters there, talking of world records, that was Mereshko, the closest finish of the night, 1/100th of a second between the two Ukrainians. Saveta Mereshko ahead of her teammate Savtsova. There's a bit of a procession for Denisenko just outside the world record time there in the S12 400 freestyle. And in the women's race, another European title for Naomi Maike Schnitger of Germany. Just stretching into the wall there, winning by a clear margin from Delgado Nadal of Spain. What about this young man here from Israel, Dadon, winning in his major championship debut, the Israeli swimmer. Israel have had a very good night, and Boadaiko adding to his tally of European medals, just finishing ahead of his teammate Trusov there in the 50 butterfly S7. Women's 50 butterfly, another close contest. Denise Grau of Germany just prevailing over Judith Rola Marechal from Spain, who claims another European silver medal for the Spanish team. Denise Grau, great win for her. And what about this close finish in the S2 men's 50 backstroke? Makro Dimitris head-to-head with Jacek Czech. The Greek swimmer coming out on top by the smallest of margins, 0.1 of a second. Claiming his first European gold medal. And in the S11 class for the men, the reigning European champion made it a double. Another European title for Sudzilao, but what about this surprise? Marina Podobna from Ukraine, surprising me, surprising Liz, surprising everybody to take that gold medal in a world record time. Sensational world record for Marina Podobna. Great Britain left it late for their gold medal performances, but Scott Quinn and Conor Morrison were 1 and 2 for the Great Britain team in the 100 breaststroke SP14. Scott Quinn retaining his European title, and Louise Fittes made it 2 in a row for Great Britain as she finished ahead of the world record holder Michelle Alonso Morales to take the gold in the women's equivalent SP14. 100 breaststroke SP4G. Great Ihar Boki again claimed another European gold in the 100 butterfly S13, just 0.1 of a second outside is quite his world record. And the final event, well, it didn't disappoint. The relays very rarely do, and the Italian team, anchored home by Antonio Fantini, yelled on by his teammates, and the Italians took, I would say, a surprise win. I'm sure they didn't think it was a surprise ahead of Ukraine. A great way to finish the evening, a great way to finish this night of action here in Dublin. We hope you'll join us again for day 2 of the competition, because we are back at 10 a.m. in the morning, local time, here at the National Aquatic Centre in Dublin. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. I've been Paul Noble with Liz Johnson tonight, taking you through the action. Join us again, 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, local time, here in Dublin. Good night for now.